Hello, hello, hello. It is Elsa 932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me, joining us. Okay. And we start off with a bang. Okay. Ari's doing this because of you, Trey. Okay. Ari, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Okay. And she does this because she knows what donating a certain level of memberships will get a thank you in the form of a twerk. Thank you, Ari, for 5 memberships. Okay. Yes. Yeah, you could cover your face all you want, Trey. Okay. And for the members, we're gonna have a good time. Cause at the people of Walmart section, I have the list of a certain man stealing some stuff from Walmart of the adult variety. And we're gonna cover that on Monday's members live at 8 o'clock. Okay. Hey, Miss Buckeye, glad to see you. Glad to have you here. Hey, Cross Country Cruise, her always here. Yeah, Trey Mack said he's not on CP time today. Somebody got on him. Hey, Sam, glad to have you here. Glad to see you. Hey, Munira, hope you are free to chat with us today. Anna Francesca, I think this is your first time here. Welcome, welcome. I hope you are subscribed. I hope I didn't have you clutching your pearls too early with the first 5 minutes. Hey, Michelle and Tanya C. Tanya, yes, that twerk is serious. It's serious money. It ain't no fake money. It's serious money. Hope you're enjoying yourself, Tanya C, with your celebrations. Hey, to go to Africa. Glad to see you. Glad to have you here. And Alicia. And y'all, I'm going to drop the link. Give Trey and I probably, 30 minutes or so. Hey, D Brown, and I will drop the link and you could come on through and give us your opinions. And of course, give Trey your opinion because I'm sure that it's, different. I'm sure. Ooh, Tanya C is in Greece right now. Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what time it is in Greece, but I'm sure it is late night or early morning. Are you 7 hours ahead of us? Hey, thank you for joining us while you are here. We will endeavor to keep you entertained. Okay. So, Trey, we got 10 and 11 this week. 10 and 11 this week. What were your thoughts? We met some family. We counting some beers. And we have 2 men that have flown the coop.
My initial thoughts were, why did you drag this out? 2 episodes? You could have went ahead and dropped the 3, especially with the dropouts. Just go ahead and drop the 3. I don't know what's going on, but okay. I guess we'll see. But yeah, 2 flew the coop. They had to get up out of there. The question is, was it the right or wrong thing to do?
Well, for everything that, Joe was saying about Nick, he certainly followed in his footsteps. I'm sorry, Joe had a lot. That ain't my guy. That ain't my type of guy. That Nick, that ain't my guy. But you doing the same, my guy, stuff.
A little less dignified, though. Because that was, I can't do it. Get off me. Get off me. Like, bro, relax.
Nick's friend said, is it getting to you yet? Not Nick, sorry, Joe's friend. Is it coming together yet? Are you excited? He's like, shut the beat up. And I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. We're gonna anything that stood out to you for the episode?
Stood out? I'm gonna save what stood out because it might ruffle some feathers. But I think it was very poignant. It was very poignant. It was something.
You love them big birds. So ruffle feathers, Trey. Go ahead. You love big birds.
I don't know about that. I just like calling out the big birds. You can't miss them when they walk through. But I just found it was super interesting when Nick did what he did. We're gonna talk about what Nick did and how he handled it. But we had the little fittings, and the ladies started having a slight conversation real quick about how Nick handled things. I thought it was very strange of them saying, I don't like the way Nick did that. I just thought better of that. I'm like, y'all supposed to be ain't friend. Y'all didn't get no indication of how she was acting out here. Because it seemed like y'all saw it too. Because we all saw it. Some of her answers was right in front of your face. If you try to tell me you see that as normal, that means all y'all in the same boat. So all y'all crazy? What you trying to tell me? Well, hey, we'll talk
Andy,
about
are
it.
you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you
Smooth
okay,
criminal.
Annie?
Listen, I played this song after he left. I was like, yeah, we did that. Listen.
Yeah. Well, for the if we go in with song choice, what stood out for me was, Queen Latifah's song. Queen Latifah's song. Who are you calling a bitch? Cause I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. When you call your man a biatch, and even not as gentle as I'm saying it, sometimes they like it to hear it between the sheets. That's between you and your man. But if you call him
Who's doing that? What?
a biatch in an argument, nah, homie, that's the end of your relationship. Because guess what, ladies? If he turns around and calls us that, them is fighting words. Them is walk out on you words.
That was wild.
In such a beautiful setting. I just didn't understand, why are we arguing such a beautiful setting?
Because some people like to fight. Plain and simple. Some people, no matter what they might tell you, some people are too the toxicity is too ingrained within their personality system for them to actually truly ever let it go. Now, I'm not saying KB was actually wrong in some of the things that she was saying, because she wasn't. But yeah, you ain't had to start that fight. You was itching to make a fight.
Well, it's also, I need you to behave how I want you to behave. The fight was not, why did she start it? Here's my thing. Why did she start it in the first place? He was refusing to do something production asked him to do for the bachelor party. If we are to believe the edit, we know this is an edited show. He did not want to do something that production wanted him to do. And he said no, which is his right. But you're coming at him for not wanting to talk about it. I have a problem.
Because it was something that she said, I guess production asked, but she had asked him as well. And I think that's where they really, irked her. I asked you, and you didn't do it. So I found it very rich when all of a sudden, when we saw what happened at that Mr. Party, all of a sudden, fast forward to now she wants to have the conversation. Okay. And she wants to argue with him. You didn't even want to talk about it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. He's like, I tried to talk to you about the elephant in the room. You didn't want to talk about it.
Right. We were washing the elephant and you didn't want to talk about it. Let me bring Sam up and then we can get to our couples. Hey, Sam.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, hello. We can definitely hear you.
How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here.
Afternoon, Samantha.
So Sam, since Trey and I have been doing this a couple of weeks, by ourselves, and you are here, I will let you pick. Which couple would you like to start with today?
Oh, I would like to start with Nick and what's her face? See,
Annie. Annie. Let me. I will change the screen so you are not covered by them.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead. I will let you start us off.
So, am I allowed to say what the word on the curb was and why that made sense for what my reaction is to them, or do I have to leave what I've heard on the outside out?
Girl, you talk however you wish to talk. As long as it ain't derogatory and using profanity, we good.
Okay, good. No, would never do that. Would never do that to your brand. I promise. So I want to start with them because what I heard on the street then kind of made sense for what I saw. So what I saw with these two when it came to the breakup is that she didn't necessarily look as devastated and as crushed as I was imagining that she would have. that it almost seemed like she was trying to squeak out some crocodile tears a little bit. And I was shocked because when she was tipsy the day before,
just tipsy.
Right. I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, either she's being tipsy or she's just, I'm trying to be nice. When she was tipsy or / drunk the night before, she was so emotionally high that I would have expected her to be very crushed. And what I heard, and I thought, okay, this makes sense. The word on the street was that they had that night when they were arguing over the tacos and the this and that, he had broken it off with her then.
Right. I believe that. He said he just want to eat his food in peace.
He had broken it off camera, and the production wanted them to get back on the couch and do the official breakup.
And if y'all go watch the recaps of, I believe it was Jessie Wu had it, where they zoomed in on her phone where she was texting, letting folks know that the wedding was already off.
Yes.
So yes, but I would agree with that definitely. If you break up off camera, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to do this in front of the camera because we need to see and hear that fully.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We need to wrap this up. Just like back in the day, I know y'all don't like these flashbacks, but when Tyler was telling Ashley about his children's, and they had to redo it on camera.
Yes. And I think also back with Marshall and the other young lady, it was the same thing. They had broken up already like a whole 24 hours ahead and had to come back and do it. So I only bring all of that up to say that where Trey had mentioned last week, and I had agreed with him wholeheartedly about the whole, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, but I want you, but I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't, the reason why I had such issues with that is what is understood doesn't need to be stated. If the reality is that you don't need, you don't have to necessarily say that. And I say that because I think that factored into why he just couldn't stay at a certain point. I think it was just too layered at that point. You're telling me you don't need me. This is the second time in a drunken or tipsy state you've reiterated how much you love me. It was almost just coming off as, for someone who says you don't need me, you're acting like you need me, but you said you don't need me, type of a thing.
Right. Well,
so yeah.
My problem with that is Annie had too many personalities come to the surface in that whole moment. Even though this is contrived for the camera to break up on camera, I don't need you to tell me yes, now. I don't need to tell me no. As like it was too many personalities looking at me. I'm sorry. It's like you can have him break up and you could be emotional and you could be whatever, but for you to choose to have 50 personalities peek through your eyes in one sitting is just too much for me.
But said she was fighting for her life. She's got to go on camera.
Just try.
She was fighting more for her life than her hair. I'm sorry.
Just try, Nick. Just try. I want you to try harder. Please, Nick, try harder. Oh my God, this is so terrible. Try harder.
You're the man.
You should be there. Be there. You can do this. You can maybe do it. Yes, I can. What? What? Hold on. What's happening? This is not. Nick's face look like this is not what we discussed.
Right.
Think about that. Think about that. Nick's face in that moment, he kind of did a take back like, wait, this is not what we discussed. What's going on here?
She's off script. She is off script.
Producer. Headquarters. She's not headquarters, please.
Hey. The bird is flying, okay?
That's right.
The bird is flying, okay? Like,
This is why this was my favorite one to talk about, because I just felt that it was sad, it was tragic, it was unnecessary, it was just a mess. It was just a mess. And I do think that Brendan would have been the better choice. I kind of felt that anyway. I know he was I know I know. I said, wait, hang with me for a second. Just bear with me for a second. He was slow to make the move. So maybe slow is an understatement.
It should have been slow.
But There. Thank you, Trey. Save me some type of way. He was slow, but I do think he would have been the better choice because he did seem to have a patience and a realness about him that I don't know that Nick ever gave. Nick was simultaneously telling two people he loved him.
Was he real? Was Brendan really real? I
You
mean,
know what?
I feel like he was.
we were talking about what color door in a house. What is the foundation of this house? How are we going to raise these kids? What is your religion? Brendan, to me, was playing the game to get to the next level.
Exactly. Like they all were. The only problem is I do think Brendan was more interested in Annie than Nick was. Because then let's not forget, I said this from the beginning, Annie was always Nick's second choice. That's why the whole conversation with Kate was weird for me too. First of all, I feel like he shouldn't have apologized to her. You know, I understand why he was doing it for the look of it.
For the look.
You know, I understand, I get it, but he shouldn't apologize to it. In the way she's trying to come off, like, Kate, you know, relax. He said no to you because you proved yourself to be not spiritually aligned, period. But y'all don't want to bring that back up if you notice when they talked again the second time. They didn't want to bring that back up. But y'all were not spiritually aligned. He clouded. He said, wait, no, that's not what you said the other day, and it wasn't. Then he went, nah, this not going to work. Smart thing to do. And he went with Annie. So, yeah, I can see him playing the game, saying what he got to say, you know, saying to secure both avenues just in case. And he had to use this just in case. Brendan was taking a little too slow. Why? Because he understood. He knew Nick was the other guy.
Yes.
So he's looking at, what did he tell Annie? You know what? I wanted you to want me too. Reciprocity. I'm not about to put 100% into you, and you're not putting it, you know, putting at least something back into me. That's the only reason why I would disagree that it wouldn't work with Annie, because Annie really wasn't feeling Brendan like that either.
Yeah.
She was here to play the whole time. That's all I caught for her. She was just here to play. She only got serious when Nick said, hey, it's going to be me and you. Oh, okay. That's the only time she got serious about anything. Before then, she was playing around.
Oh, so you guys don't think she was feeling Brendan? You didn't get that vibe?
She was feeling whoever was feeling her.
Exactly. She liked him a little bit.
Okay.
Which man proposed first is who gonna catch me.
Okay.
That's it. That's what I felt. I felt she was like, okay, I'm gonna hedge my bets too. I'm not telling either of these men I love them, but I'm telling them I'm obsessed. I like them. Da 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 da. She was, you know, as everyone needs to playing the game. You need to not, you know, alienate everybody in your circle. But again, you know, Brendan, you know, all of the things that he is all sad about with her, it's like, okay, I need you to be sad about it. Okay, you can have your emotions. Why is the whole room like a mausoleum? Because you didn't get the girl. The girl refused you.
Well, that's because of this social antics that was going on in the men's lounge. The men actually did not like Nick or Mike.
Yeah.
Probably for personality reasons, basically. It's really just simple as that. For personality reasons, they rub people the wrong way. They like Brennan. So that's the only reason why they was going hard for him. They actually
But Brendan also didn't see Nick as competition. That is another problem. If you underestimate your competition, you done lost the game.
Absolutely. That's his fault.
But I can't help but wonder if Brendan had articulated some very things that we didn't see, okay? If he had articulated some very deep feelings for Annie, because he was crushed. He was devastated, so much so that the other men were affected by his emotions. And when he met Annie up at the Western Mixer, he still seemed like if she would have been interested in a conversation that was beyond the surface level, hi, how are ya type of a thing, he still seemed like he was feeling her, because I think it was another guy that said, hey, look, it might have been for the best that didn't shake out for you. And he seemed to disagree, like, I don't know. That's the only reason why I'm kind of giving it like maybe because not that race has anything to do with anything, because race has nothing to do with it, but I don't know what Brendan's ethnicity is. I only bring that up because I wonder if, based upon what it is, if culturally that's why he wasn't moving at a pace, because some cultures have a different way of how they move, so to say. And maybe
I agree with Munira. Brendan, it was his ego that Nick beat him rather than he wanted to capture Annie. But I see your point, Sam. I see your point. You know, there's a lot that could be edited out. He could have poured his heart out about his family. He could have said, you know, everything that needed to be said, you know, and he could really feel attached to Annie. But when she was slipping away from him, he didn't lead with, you know, this is us. You know how much I care about you, how much he went immediately, what kind of house are we going to have?
Yeah.
What is the color of the door? I was like, you are building up in her head, her fantasy, because you know this girl in her head. But I'm like, what are we building this house on? What are we putting in this house? Because you could have a house, but if you ain't got nothing in it, it's going to be empty. Sometimes the house full and it's empty. For me, Brendan was not a good choice.
Okay.
He kept it very surface with her, mainly because she was keeping it surface with him.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know why I don't know why I am caping for that young man so much. I feel like it was youth
because he was sincere. Because I can see why you're caping for him, Sam. You know, I can see why. Because even though we didn't see a lot, the fact that the entire room was on his side rather than Nick does say something with Brendan. Brendan also is the one telling, you know, Edmund, why are you kissing the floor and everybody walking all over the floor? There's something very grassroots about about Brendan that I do like. But what I didn't like or didn't see was a connection there for love and affection with Annie. That's what I didn't see with Brendan.
No, I absolutely agree. He didn't. I don't. Honestly, I put that with every couple. All of a sudden, they love each other. Nah, it usually doesn't work that way. Have I seen people fall in love extremely fast? I think it's happened. I've seen it, you know. But in this instance, how this show is set up, you're always going to have a side eye towards him. Like, okay, you know, we all know what everybody's here to do. So we're going to see who can play better. Basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So and then, even with Annie, you know, I don't know how true this is, but, you know, apparently an ex of hers dropped out the woodworks and saying stuff out, like his experience with how he first met her. And somebody mentioned to comment she had a whole DUI during that time when she had an ankle monitor actually for DUI. Then, you know, he had to call the authorities on her because she stole his ID just to get access to his phone records. So she could, allegedly, of course, to, you know, go through his phone. I'm like, if it's true, it tracks.
It tracks.
Yeah, she said she's obsessed. When someone uses that kind of word, I start to backpedal. I'm obsessed. I get obsessed with my person, and it's like that's sounding stalker-ish. Yeah. Is it you know, she lost a big fish. I'm sorry. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about Nick. Okay. Y'all know how Trey and I feel about Nick. Nick's garage is worth more than his entire house. Okay. So y'all can say what y'all feel about Nick. She lost a big fish.
That's part of it. She realized what she had. She's like, I need to try to secure this, because you notice there was a switch to Annie. The more she was hanging out with Nick, especially after seeing his family, some of the stuff, there was a switch in her all of a sudden. There was a switch. And she went,
you guys are the ones that educated me. When you guys were saying, you know, there's no hobby he had that wasn't probably a 4-figure, 5-figure hobby. Because I looked at his place and thought it was lovely, but I didn't do the arithmetic the way you guys were. And
because we nosy, Sam. You're looking at it and you're like, oh, that's cute, that's nice. We nosy. We hear cha-ching, cha-ching. The price is right. We hear and the market value of this. We nosy. Okay.
I don't subscribe to nosy. I'm just observant.
I I'm nosy then. Okay, Trey, I'm nosy. Here's the thing, Sam. Here's the thing, Sam. I saw everything and I was like, oh, okay. But then I saw the car.
Yeah.
And then I stopped. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now I have to pull back and watch the entire scene and inventory, because that kind of car, you're not going to put, soily laundry around that car. So when I'm looking around, and then his driving simulator is the actual chair that moves, and the curved screens, and the ice boat, and the sails. He had multiple sails.
Yes.
For that ice boat.
The skis.
Multiple skis. Oh, this is the cross-country skis. This is the downhill skis. This is just the bunny slope skis. All of those cost. He's not renting skis.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't even, till you guys pointed it out, I was like, you know what?
Then he's running all these marathons all over the world. It takes airfare, accommodation, and registration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm not, yes, I'm pocket watching if somebody wants to say it. Nick is one of those where people would be like, why is he on this show? He's not going to get a whole lot of highlight. But then again, why was the gentleman in DC, now his name escapes me, who was the high-end art dealer? He was no slouch. He was wealthy.
Yeah, he was.
He was obscenely wealthy. He's probably more wealthy than Nick, but he was here. And it's certainly, his client base knows who he is and blah, blah, blah. But Nick, I was like, okay, Nick is in an area where it's, well-to-do. It's insulated too. So I think Nick probably wanted to expand his horizons too, as far as the dating realm. At this point, my advice to Nick would be hire a matchmaker.
Absolutely.
Hire a matchmaker.
Absolutely.
You can find exactly what you want with a matchmaker.
And Megan as well. I don't know why she hasn't gone that route. I mean, I agree with you.
She probably did. That's why she ended up with who she had before. But we'll get to Megan.
We'll get later. Yeah, I'm getting ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
But is there anything else either of you want to talk about Annie and Nick? Because Annie ain't okay.
No, she sure isn't. No, thank you.
Nick will have to play with his toys, come off the mountain, out of the closet, spend time with the person he really loves, and have his mother's blessing. His mama gonna be fine if that young lady is about the church. Okay, if that lady's about the church, and let mama still continue to rule this house. Okay, but I'm telling you, if I was in Annie's shoes or in the lady's shoes, I can become what is necessary for the lifestyle. Okay,
yes.
I'm sorry. But, that's just grown me. Trey, where would you like to go to? Which is the next couple that you would like us to entertain right now and talk about?
Let's go ahead and hit up Joe and Madison. Let's just go ahead and hit the flown the coop.
Okay, Joe. They call me Crazy Joe. Joe, as Trey said, flew the coop, y'all. He was frustrated with his tie and he decided to leave. He did promise her mother that he would not do the last minute thing, because we found out Joe was engaged. That time he'd spent 5 years with the woman. They had invitations ready, and all he had to do is chuck it in the mail, and Joe choked and couldn't do it and didn't do it and broke off the engagement. So Joe cussed out his friends, ran to his car after the suit fitting, and was outie. Didn't even tell his friends. They're looking out the window. There goes Joe. Oh, there goes Joe. Didn't even tell your homies that you're leaving. So that's another one in the cups. But I mean, what is there to do in Denver if not drink? Trey, what did you think about Madison Joe since you picked them?
About time. We've been actually waiting on him to do this episodes ago. Yeah. So all this, crying this, oh my God, no. Let's not pretend that not now one person watching this was not hoping or expecting Joe to get the heck up out of there and not drag this out to the decision day. We all was hoping that, because I can't count on Madison to do it, because she has an obsessive personality as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can't trust her because I'm sorry. How can we, the viewership, off rip, clock Joe for what he is, especially after that reveal, but you can't clock it and you standing right in front of the man. The man don't like you. And been acting like
she can't see things in dimly lit rooms, Trey.
Now, I wasn't going to make that joke. I wasn't going to make that joke. But since you started it, since you took us there, yes, that's partially the reason. Okay? I'm sorry. Listen, I would have to be in that situation to know what I would do. Like, a woman comes up to me, we're talking, and she informs me, hey, before this goes any further, I probably let you know I have a progressive eye loss thing that's going on, and there's potential I could lose my eyesight later on. I have to process that. Like, okay, wait, if we go forward, then, she could become disabled. This is serious. I have to take that seriously. Like, okay, do I want to be a part of this person's life? Like, real talk. So just on that alone, I can understand from Madison's standpoint, it might be and get difficult for her dating down the road. But still, that doesn't give you the excuse not to use your brain and understand how this man is even talking to you, that he don't really like you like that. Like, yo. So it kind of, and the way Madison was talking, how she was trying to talk to Joe, it did give the feeling like, nah, you knew this was happening. How she reacted, I felt like you knew this was happening, and we're catching up to you, reacting to it. That's what it felt like.
But Trey, he said he feels like a huge weight has been lifted off his shoulders. Was he wrong for saying that? Since he found her to be, of a heavier side than he's accustomed to.
Elsie is on fire.
Oh my God!
She came ready to torch.
He said it. He said it. Joe said it. I'm not making it up. He said it.
Listen, okay, that might have been wrong to say, but I could understand from his standpoint that was real.
Is that why he only lifted her when they were in the pool?
For the buoyancy? What you trying to say? Lifted her from the pool, he even helped her get in it. What you mean? So you ain't right. You're not right.
Hey, he said it. He said it. He said, hey. He also said, he could see clearly that she was not the person for him. And I was like, dude, you talked about the weight. Now you're talking about her vision. I need you to just get off camera at this point.
Yes. The only thing I can actually be mad with Joe about is two things. Two very specific things. One of them I'm actually furious with him about, but I'm going to just throw my hands up. You drug this out too long because you knew you didn't like this woman. And number two, you slept with her.
Mm-hmm.
Several times that she said it's the best she ever had. Several times.
Yeah. No, he ain't just sleeping. He gave her the put it on her.
The lash.
You're going to remember this. Because I heard it still, even, I don't know if that's true or not, but they may have kept, he came back for round two.
Yes, apparently. Multiple times. That's why she's going to miss the cuddling.
I'm talking after
now Trey, as our resident gentleman, okay, and we don't have to be very specific, but I'm going to ask this. Joe is often intoxicated, and I have heard that performance, diminishes with the amount of intoxication there is. So, is it that her standards are low?
No, first of all, it depends on how much intoxication we're talking about, and each person is going to be different. Honestly, in my opinion, you actually get a little more. You get a performance boost with a little bit of a buzz sometimes.
Okay. Even performance for a young lady that you don't find aesthetically pleasing.
Hey, sometimes that can take your mind out of it. Like, you know what? I'm thinking about something else anyway.
Okay. You know, ladies, sometimes we have to ask these questions when we have a man on the hook. We got to ask them. Okay.
They don't call it liquid courage for nothing. And let's not pretend that women are out here taking some liquid courage at times.
We just close our eyes, Trey.
Right.
We just close our eyes. Okay. Just close our eyes. Hey.
Now let me get that tequila shot. You're gonna be like you're gonna be like Allie. You know, yeah, he wasn't the only one drinking that tequila.
No, he was not. But we'll get to Allie. Was there anything else you wish to say about Madison and Joe, Trey?
Thank God. Keep moving.
Okay, Sam, what did you have to say? I'm sorry I kept interrupting Trey, but I had to get those jokes in. What do you think about Madison and Joe?
Yeah, no need to be sorry at all. No, I mean, same for the most part. I mean, I know the Brazil was a little offbeat, but at least homie, when he didn't like what he was attracted to, didn't let it get any further. Referring to Brazil, I'm sorry, I forget the names. Joe knew from the start he wasn't attracted to her. And I agree. Once you knew that, hoping that you might be able to overcome that was a long shot. There wasn't anything wrong with the fact that he didn't find her attractive, that yes, emotionally there was a connection, there physically was not. You have to say that up at the front end. You know, the hoping that it was going to change was not fair, and it was not right. I think certainly the SMEX of it all, thinking that, you know, maybe if I could, that might change. Again, another crapshoot. That's not enough. Even if it was great, it wasn't going to hold you for the long term. If it was not what you found attractive. So for his part of it, he was dishonest when she was saying why, and tell me something, and you know, and the whole, I don't know, I just can't. He knew. That's why when he got in front of the camera, it flowed. He articulated that beautifully and quickly when asked by producers. But with her, he hemmed, he hawed, and he didn't know. And
I'm relieved.
Totally relieved. And that was what it was. So yeah, I have nothing but disdain, not for him as a human, but disdain for how he dealt with it, because there was just a better way to deal with the situation, and that he did not do. At the same time, I'm looking at her family, and I'll get to her in a moment, but I'm looking at her family who, Mom, you said that you understood and you knew, you didn't sense there was an issue, there was an issue. And I think what disappointed me about the family, as in her mother and her sister, and to a lesser extent, her brother-in-law, was the idea that, you know, I'm not going to be here forever. She has a degenerative eye condition that could lead to blindness or may not lead to blindness. We don't know. It could be in a week, 2 weeks. It could be a year. It could be never. I think I always feel uncomfortable when families put the onus on another human being outside of the family. Conversations, in my mind, if she's had this disease for quite some time, need to be with her sister and her brother-in-law, who are married and who are a unit. And I don't know that you can put that on another human being to be the one that can take care of her. You know what? You're my sibling. We're going to have a conversation, because I may get a man in my life. I may not have a man in my life. And what is the plan as I move forward if this disease takes my eyesight? That's the familial kind of conversation that needs to be had, that is outside the scope of a soulmate that may or may never come. So as I listened to the conversation, I thought, yeah, that I don't know that sounds swift there. I think the family wasn't helpful in necessarily seeing the signs. I don't know that at the dinner he looked all that enthusiastic.
He didn't.
Okay, as I was going to say, was it just me? Because I didn't feel like he looked enthusiastic or sold. Here's
the thing, and y'all, I have a short about it. Joe, when we saw them at the table, asked her to look in the cavern, the dark cavern that is his nose, to see if he has a booger, knowing this girl can't see in dark spaces. Okay? Knowing this girl can't see in dark spaces, you gonna tell her to please look up in my nose to see if I have a booger. Sir, it's your nose. Put the menu in front of your face and pull your booger out. Okay?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but the sisters, I agree with you. The sister was more like, we're married together. You have a husband, I have a husband. We'll have our kids together. The cousins will be. It was like no regard. It could be, copy paste any man in that situation, even if it wasn't Joe.
Yes.
Her mother and her sister were on a mission to get her married.
Absolutely.
Sam, you're correct. They did have a conversation about her future, and that was the answer. We got to get you married, girl. Someone that can take care of you.
Yeah.
Because the brother-in-law keeps saying, hey, dude. I thought the brother-in-law was a canary. Hey. You're going to be jumping off cliffs with this family. Right. You better get comfortable.
Right.
You're going to be jumping every...
Was that not the ultimate warning? Come on. I caught that in the moment. I went, yo, is he trying to tell him to run?
That was a blink twice moment. Yes.
Is he trying to tell him to run because he's locked in? He's trapped.
Yeah, right.
And if you run, bring me with you. Take me with you.
He can't leave her. He got 2 daughters now. Remember, she got 2 nieces.
Yes.
Oh my.
He said, dude, it is jumping off a cliff all the time. And it got to be worth you jumping off a cliff. I said, Dad,
totally right.
Because listen to me. That brother-in-law is the only man around in that family right now.
Yeah.
He even got 2 daughters. He got the mama, his wife, 2 daughters, and Madison is his sister-in-law. That man has no say in his life.
At all.
You know what, Elsa, can you bring up go to Africa's comment? I'm going to answer that. You're right. You know why it was believable when he met her family? Because number one, and number two, in actuality and probably real life, Joe's a likable person. He just didn't like this person.
Yeah.
So it made you look at him in a certain manner. But in real life, Joe is probably a very likable person. He has friends. People like him around town. He's probably a good time at parties. He's likable. He's very likable. If we didn't see Joe on the show and we met him outside, you'd be like, that's a cool dude.
He ain't my dude, but he's a cool dude.
Cool dude. We ain't about to be best friends, but he's a cool dude. We can get drinks with him. But we met him in this setting. He got put with this person. He chose to be put with this person that we saw had issues before he even proposed to her. In the past, we knew she had some issues going on. So we knew this train wreck was coming.
Mm-hmm.
We started building. They get together. Oh, yeah, it's a train wreck, all right. So and you're right, Elsa, because of how he handled things with her, yeah, that would make some look bad.
Joe telling production and telling us what he should be telling her, because she looked real thirsty.
She was
and desperate.
Look, she was.
Yes, but if he was honest with her and not laying the pipe and letting her believe that he's in this, if he was honest with her, then he could have escaped cleanly.
Because he told her, and this is where I was just like, girl, stop. He said to her, when she asked, you got to be careful about what you ask because you might get an answer. Would we have fared better outside of the pods? He said, no, we lasted longer in this situation than we would have had I met you at a bar.
He told her that.
He told her.
That's crazy.
That is crazy to the Z. He told her to her face. We lasted longer here because what he would have done at a bar is he would have looked at her. He wouldn't have been physically attracted to her. And that would have been that on that. So that's how early he knew that he was not. He could have redeemed himself in how he came out of this. He had just been honest and said, I'm sorry. As I always say, there's no easy way to say this. There's just not. Mm-hmm. Emotionally, I'm attracted to you. But unfortunately, physically, you're just not my type. I'm sorry.
He told her at reveal. He told her.
Yeah.
Whoa. I can't put this with the voice and whoa.
Context clues.
I can't match this with the voice and
context clues, boy. Context clues hard.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a hard sell for me. It's a hard sell.
Joe had a problem.
You can't take the trip. You
from
can't
the beginning.
Yeah, you can't take the trip to it. You've got to say.
But you see, here's where men confuse us, Sam. If you are nice to me,
yeah,
and you are laying the pipe right,
yeah,
I'm going to think that you love me.
yeah.
Yep.
And we need to get out of that thought process.
Yes.
We got to stop that. We got to stop that.
He's getting some from you. He laying the pipe to get his pleasure and get off. Okay?
Right.
That does not mean his feelings are engaged.
Yeah.
You feel up, his feelings are not engaged.
Yeah.
Okay? That is where we have, some of us, some ladies, not all.
Yeah.
We have an affinity where who we lay with, we do have feelings for.
Yes.
A lot of us. We are not going to share our body with someone we don't have any feelings for.
Right.
But some men like Joe is showing us, yeah, you ain't my type. I don't like how you look. You ain't really it for me. And my feelings ain't really there anymore. But I can lay you out.
That's right.
I can lay you out.
And that's
I
why
hate to say this, but almost just about every man has a boo-boo on their list. You know, it's crazy that Madison has to be Joe's boo-boo because I don't think she's an ugly girl at all.
No, she's not. She's pretty, I think.
I don't think
absolutely gorgeous.
She's pretty.
And again, I haven't seen the rest of what his roster look like. So,
well, what Madison has said in an interview is that at a mixer, Casey was there and had two of her hands on Joe's chest, and that is why she said, or they went out and Casey was there. That's why she asked Joe if he's interested in another single.
wait, Casey showed up?
Not that official mixer. Another place they all went out or met up or whatever. And Casey had both her hands on Joe's chest and they looked like they were talking chummy. Casey has come out and said that she was told Joe she ain't interested. But Joe, that's why she asked the question. Joe was like, no. She was begging to get laid out, just Rhonda, because the one night they spent apart, she decides she gonna apologize. And he's the one that was wasted drunk in the bed. Yeah. Joe had her totally hypnotized.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless the play Usher, you got it bad. You got it bad. Where you're from.
And that's a problem. That's a problem. When you got it bad, the next song that may happen is Let It Burn. Because once she gets that bad and you just cut it off, and you send her off like, I never really liked you in the first place, stuff starts to burn. Okay? You should let it burn. That is what is happening. And we're hoping that it's clothes burning and not, down below. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm on something today. Anything else y'all would like to say about Madison and Joe, or should we go on to the next couple?
The only quick thing I'll say to wrap it up and land on is that's why it is so important to get a better feel for where you're at before you go to bed with these guys, or before two people go to bed, period. I won't make it a gender thing, but before you do that, because by the time you do the intimacy, it can be too late to kind of reverse your feelings because you're caught up in that. And it blinds you from being able to see the obvious. He led with, you're not his type. And had she just paused, I think this would have been a different story for her. So that would be the only kind of last thing I'd say about that.
See, Ari is here saying, yes, I'm being too much today. I put out tomorrow's unsolicited advice. I put out the titles, okay? This man smacked the bootay of his ex. I don't understand why I'm being blamed for these titles when it is clearly the people who wrote these things had the title. I just put the title out there. I didn't create it. I just let you see it. But if you'd like to join us tomorrow and find out exactly what the story is on, how, what his girlfriend decided to do when he smacked his ex's bootay, you can certainly join us for unsolicited advice tomorrow.
Oh, the ex.
That's wild work right there, boy.
Wild work. Well, Joe strikes me that he may, tap Madison's booty if she walked by. Okay. But
Oh, that's just how we talk to one another. That's just how we talk.
that's just how we talk. We
It's
have
locker room. It's locker room.
yes.
We used to play sports together. She smacked my booty, I smack her. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of smacking around, okay? And sorry to say this. Since y'all picked, I'm gonna pick this one. And I'm gonna go to my songs, Queen Latifah. Who you calling a bitch? When you why? Are you calling a person that you claim to love out their name? Because I tell you, ladies, if we are not jumping on KB for this behavior, then we can't jump on men who turn it around. Yeah. We should not accept it from anyone on this show or any other show, anyone in your life. Okay? Don't be calling that. If you have a banter with your friends, calling each other B back, B, that's fine. Another thing, KB, I'd like you to learn, and I hope all my ladies are listening. Remember, her original argument with Edmund is that she needed his help. She needed him to lift the load, go to Ross, go to the store, get some cowboy stuff. Ladies, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't send him to the store without a list and preferably a picture list. Okay? Tell him specifically what to get. Because you may get anything. I'm looking at Edmund's clothing choice, and you're going to get anything. So, ma'am, here's a tip, ladies. I order, and I put it for pickup, and I put his name. He ain't got to do nothing but drive by and have them bring it to the car. That's it. That's the easiest thing.
Easiest thing. But I like it. Nah, wait a minute.
Trey, you can be offended all you want. Several of your brethren out here. If we send you to the store for ketchup, you forget the brand of ketchup we have at the house, even though it's the same brand since we've been living together.
Hold on, I ain't forget the brand. We getting Heinz, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but I told you Heinz, but you saw another bottle on sale. I figured you want me to get the one on sale.
Depending on the sale. No, nah.
See, ladies. Right here in front of you, right here.
The sale got to be astronomical, or we just stick to the Heinz, okay? They got to be astronomical, But listen. I feel like I should take offense, but I'm not, because I like a list. I make my grocery list. When I come in, I go my list. I get the things off my list. That's how I stay within budget on my list. Now you sending me pictures. Hold on now. Wait a minute. I am not here. But I understand. If it's something very specific that you're looking for or whatever, give me the picture so I know exactly what it is. So you know what? I'll let it go. You got it. All right. Perfect. Okay, I get it. I just wish you would your tone. I just wish your tone.
I ain't got no tone, sweetie. Just pass by the store. Okay. Let me know what the parking spot number is so I can let them know on the app, and they'll just bring the order to you. You didn't even got to go in the store.
I ain't mad at it.
I am not going to set you up for possible failure. I will get specifically what I want. I will order it, and she can't do that at Ross. But I am saying, because Edmund's fashion sense is loud to me. Loud. I don't know what kind of cowboy hat, buckle, or belt you're going to get from the store if you send him on his own.
There's nothing wrong with the great value. Well, you know what? There is something wrong with the great value. Gotta go there. But I'm just saying, it could have been a better price. Could have been a better price. You never know. No, we're trying to save.
I was going to say something else, but I'll leave it there, Trey. Y'all don't want me that diabolical.
Why not? You're on a roll. It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. I can beg for forgiveness tomorrow.
Absolutely.
See, I sent my husband to do a Walmart pickup order. He acted like he didn't even know where to go for pickup, even though there were clear signs, and they call it pickup. They don't call it Flash Lane. They call it Walmart pickup.
Man, y'all making it hard for me to defend y'all, because I can't argue with that. Yo, the pickup sign's right over there. It's literally right over there. I can't defend that. I can't defend it.
And Target, better known as Target, has the same signs. Big and red, can't miss it. Pick up here. They walk out with their red jackets, can't miss them.
Break up with a guy over volleyball? What? Okay, y'all are tripping. All right, y'all tripping. Okay, relax.
Because here's the thing, too, y'all. Here's the other thing, y'all, and I'm gonna say y'all dudes. Sometimes y'all go into Wally World and disappear and come back with more than you were sent for.
No, I'll never do that. No, I go with what I need to get and get out.
Oh, okay.
All of that.
But you see, if we order and we place the order, and I have grown to the point of I don't even need to bother you no more. I'm gonna order for delivery. It'll be here in an hour.
You know what? Right. Yeah, listen. If it
Katie knew you couldn't get it.
I'm not mad at delivery.
Right. Sam, you were saying KB with the whole sending him to the store and just get stuff for Cowboy.
She didn't know. She didn't think he could do that. I don't think. I don't even know. I don't think that was a serious ask. I think she's nitpicking. I think it was a test, if you will. Would he not? Could he do it?
She loved doing tests.
Yeah.
She loved doing tests.
Yeah, she loves doing the testing. She's constantly, you're right. She's constantly testing the manhood. What would you do if somebody came for me at a club? I need you to go and buy some Western wear. It's one thing after the other, just to see, prowling up behind him at the mixer. What'd you say? What you said that? Oh, so what you trying to say? It's a constant. I just know that her friend. Oh, this is yours. I'm sorry, Elsid. I think you were talking about her. I apologize. I just hopped right on in. I'm sorry.
No, I asked you to jump in, Sam.
Oh, did you? I was going to say, yes. I'm sorry. I was going to say, I'm sorry if I just. I'm sorry. I'm so mad. I forget that you said. I was kidding. I wanted to say her friend said it all when Vanessa asked, so what are your thoughts? And once the friend basically led with, well, he's different. I felt like that said it all. I don't think KB likes him at all. I'm not even sure that she ever did. I don't know if this was about herself and how she could kind of promote herself on some level, although I don't know what that is. I've never checked out the IG and all of that. I understand she has one, but I've never, I'm not.
Sam.
Okay, I probably this. I'm not a.
the thirst trap of it all. The be outside, the IG baddie.
Yeah.
The panty lines being shown. I'm telling you. Okay. Yeah. We know why mama said no. But I'm not. Hey, she's a single woman who can advertise herself as she chooses. That's fine. But I'm saying the way your IG is out there, it doesn't scream, somebody's wife.
Yeah.
Let's cut to the chase. Let's cut to the chase on this with this KB. I got to get to it. Let's get to it. She told on herself this episode when Edmund finally came in with that bullcrap apology. And it was bullcrap. That bullcrap apology. And she gonna say, Edmund, first, the big one was, you have taught me patience because I didn't have patience. I said, okay. And then she said, she finally gave a half a apology for calling him a B by saying, I shouldn't have said that. I reverted back to someone who I used to be, and I'm trying not to be that anymore. I said, no. Ha! That's who you still are.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, she's a Florida girl. She's a Florida baddie.
That's who she still is.
Dade County all the way.
That's who she still is. So you are used to talking to people, not just men, but used to talking to people like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you are. It's not. It hasn't been far enough removed for you to say that you've been a changed person.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sense I'm getting. So yeah, that whole instance, she showed me exactly who she is and probably what type of troubles she has been in when it comes to dating men. Because that ain't the first time she called some man a B.
No,
it was quick and easy.
And
we almost missed it. We almost missed it. How easy it rolled up the tongue. Stop talking to me, B. He didn't even let me talk. It's like, ooh,
Yeah, I
wait a
was
minute.
like, okay, you know, and I can see a couple of men be like, you know what, nah, it's up.
He shut down. You saw it in his face. He shut down. Because y'all, think about it. If we were in the middle of nowhere with only a snowmobile and one cameraman, okay? One cameraman, and you call your man a bitch. Those are fighting words, and you in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Who really, we ain't even got security up here to hold him if he decide to come at you. You're starting with fighting words. I'm not saying he should, no man should, and she shouldn't put her hands on him either. But what I'm saying is that kind of stuff, that kind of bucking at him, even if she didn't say the word, she's treating him like one. And she's treating him like, if you buck up right now, I could take you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't help. I'm sorry, it didn't help that he was riding at the back of the snowmobile.
That was weird.
Yeah.
It didn't help. I said, wait a minute, where's the budget? Couldn't we afford a second snowmobile?
Yelling and screaming in glee. Woo! Yeah. I was like, oh man.
That was performative, I think. And I
was.
think he probably knew because the cameraman had to come up some way. So it had to have more snowmobiles. So why did y'all have him sit on the back of her snowmobile while she was riding it?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you know what? This whole, like I say, as I've been saying this since the beginning, this whole thing stink to high heaven. You know, because you knew, and that's why I was a little more harder on KB than Edmund, because Edmund, I knew immediately what that was. He should have never been on this show. Mm-hmm. That man still has some issues to deal with, whatever. That he's probably never gonna really get past. God's honest truth.
Yeah.
But he never should have been here. But when she was the one that was attaching herself to him and social worker, you saw her recognizing the cues and the pies. She was therapizing him in the pies. I'm like, yo, you see what this is. Mm-hmm. Why are you going forward with this guy? This is not smart. It's just not smart.
Well, that's why, and I think it was High Vibe that said it, and a few others may have said it too. That's where you can see the strategy of it all in terms of her being there just for the exposure. Because here's how she operates. Because one of the things I do for a living is I write talking points, and there's a rhythm to talking points. There's a rhythm to how people sound when they sound very okay. This is what I need to land and to stay on point. So when she's herself is when she's a B, and what would you do if I was in a club? And then when she needs to dial that back, that's when she gets to be. I thank you.
Very clip statement.
What you needed to you did what you needed to do. You stayed on point. I appreciate that, and I apologize too, because one of the big things we say in PR, you got to apologize, and the apology has to be real. It can't be I'm sorry if you took it that way, because that's not an apology. The apology is I'm sorry. I apologize for what I did. Here's what I did. I called you out of your name. I was wrong for that, and I am sorry for that. So she gets into a PR place and starts to spit talking points to make herself look good and course correct and be whatever she needs to be for whatever she got here to be exposed. But then when she's herself, when she's about it and about that life, is when you're a B. And when, what would you do if we were at a club? Okay, well, he touched me. And every time you say, well, we'll just walk away, but you can't walk away because the door is locked. Well, but you can't do that because there's that, she's got, and that's that kind of energy, that kind of, no, but that's not what I said. You're not answering my question. You shut up. Don't say you don't say a word. Let me finish what I have to say. You better not say that.
Let me finish, fam. Let me finish. Let me finish. Oh my God. Let me finish.
You're not going to out-talk me, Trey. You're not going to out-talk me, Trey.
Don't let me finish. Like, yo.
And scene.
Yo, exactly. Like, this is nuts.
Yes.
This is nuts.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, this cannot be happening. And you could tell he was getting frustrated. Let me finish. You won't let me finish. And she wasn't. She was cutting him off.
Because he was standing up for himself finally. He said, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to be sorry.
He meant
basically, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'm not going to capitulate. Okay, that's our SAT word for today. I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I'm not sorry, and you're not going to force me to be sorry, and I'm not going to just say I'm sorry because that's what you want to hear.
That was the realest thing Edmund said all season.
Yes.
Edmund said, "Why would I be sorry for something I'm not sorry about?" Or excuse me, why would I apologize for something I'm not sorry about? I'm not sorry. I was like, there you go.
Finally. Yeah, finally.
And now that he stood up for himself, what does he get? Called a B.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
so when he came in that next day and started apologizing, someone talked to him. That was all set up.
Oh, with the flowers you're saying?
Yeah, the flowers and the way he apologized. Because my first question was, okay, oh God. When I saw the flowers, I was like, oh, somebody sent him in to apologize. This is a setup.
Yeah, because because those clearance flowers at the supermarket don't come with a vase.
Yeah, this is all a setup. I was like,
right,
here
Sam?
we go. They even gave him words to use for his apology. Because you notice, think about the apology. What was he apologizing for?
Right. So what had happened, Trey, El Cid, Chat Fam, what had happened was they broke up. The producer says, we'll be darned, because that'll be the third breakup behind the camera.
We ain't having this.
We're not having that. Otherwise,
her dress has been altered. Y'all are heading to that wedding.
Yeah. We're going to catch this. We're getting this altar wedding right here. Right. KB, you can do what you got to do at the altar because we know what's going on. But now you dragging this down there.
No, we taking this. So here's your talking points, Edmund. Say this. Here are these flowers. Homie, I'm going to need you to say you sorry for... Yeah. I think they had broken up, and I think they said no to the no. That's what
and the producer said, we cannot let our booger eater go.
That's right.
They had a long
there's no way you can say folks are that KB and Edmund still want to be in this. I'm sorry.
No way.
Because for me calling him outside his name, or again, absolutely, that's when we get off this mountain and I'm like, it was nice knowing you.
I bet you said that. I bet you
exactly.
I'm telling you, there was a conversation had. It was like, listen,
we're
going to make you our future, KB. We're going to make you our future. Homegirl's going on maternity leave pretty soon. We got to have somebody.
Right.
Take
I have said that in multiple chats.
We can see this with you. I think you have a future with us. I think you could be, a good brand ambassador for us.
Yes.
I'm like, nah. I was catching the clues. I was like, nah.
She will be on. What was AD and Ollie on? She gonna be on
Perfect Match
next. But yes, I can see AD passing the realm over to KB while she's on maternity leave. This is what Ashley was supposed to be for them.
But she fell through. Ashley messed herself up.
People are not off Ashley's neck to this day.
That's true.
She ain't gonna live down calling that man's children sperm babies ever.
And that's her fault now. That
is her fault. That is her fault. She said those words out her mouth.
Because people was rocking with her before that happened, which is crazy. Because she should have been rocking with him, but they were still rocking
with
her.
Who else do you think knows more what's going on in my marriage than me? That too is where she lost people. So yes, KB is to me being groomed to be another AD.
Absolutely.
And I need us to look at this because look at this, y'all. Look at the whole setup. I keep telling y'all every week. Edmund is not allowed to have interviews yet. Have we seen? Is Edmund okay? We've seen him on IG. He's doing his thing. He's doing his real estate videos. He is selling houses, making his money. But People Magazine interviews, other content creator interviews, he has not been approved for interviews. So that tells me there is a story that y'all don't want to be heard. Y'all want KB to get her story all the way out there.
Yeah.
She is doing the complete press tour, including sitting down with AD. But this man, Edmund, is not being allowed to be out here speaking on his own behalf.
Yeah.
It's giving damage control.
A total damage control. So whatever happened at that wedding, I'm looking. But my utopia would be KB says yes and Edmund says no. But that's my utopia.
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
But that's me. I think they're not getting married, but if KB is given the opportunity first, they're gonna let her say no first, so she could be the damsel in distress. Look what I had to go through on the show.
Let's go
That's what.
Twilight. Let's go
What?
Twilight Zone. Let's just go ahead and go Twilight Zone.
Okay, go
What
all the
if
way,
they-
Trey.
God forbid, what if they both say yes?
Then we ain't married by the time reunion.
When he comes.
Exactly.
I don't know
But
why.
I'm getting a feeling it could be a almost yes, and then something happens. You know what I'm saying? During the gap between the wedding and then reunion happens. Oh, we broke up. We didn't make it.
I feel like they're not even going to get to the aisle. I feel like they're going to get dressed up, suited and booted. He's going to have his afro pick in his fro. And I just feel like there's going to be some sort of breakdown, meltdown. I don't even know if they're going to walk down the aisle to look at each other to say yes or no. I don't know why. And I've tried to see what I can pick apart from the previews, but I don't know. I feel like, are they even going to get to that part?
Well, we see her in her dress, and we see him with the afro pick walking down the aisle. We see him.
I was
we
okay.
see him.
Walking. See, because I just feel, because it seems like there's somebody who collapses, and I'm just like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's no even getting to the aisle. But yeah, that's
the next couple gonna be. I think ain't even getting to the aisle, but we'll get to them.
okay.
But is there anything with KB and Edmund this week? Anything else y'all want to talk about?
The only last thing I'll say, I always got a last thing. The only last thing I'll say is foster care. You're going to either have some who have a great experience in it, or you're going to have some who don't. I have a very close friend of mine who grew up in, and what's the term? She was never adopted. So by the time she
Aged
left
out.
Thank you. I can't even speak. She aged out of the foster care system. Some experiences are good, some are not. I know the trigger for many of her, because she's a social worker, was profanity. And so that's why I wouldn't be surprised if when Edmund heard what she said in terms of calling him the B, I can see where that for him that could have been a deal breaker. It was bad enough I went through that in the system. I'll be darned if I'm going to have my future wife calling me that.
And it's on camera. Could you imagine my children watching this and see mommy call daddy a B on camera? I mean, oh my God, the far reachings of it. And ladies, KB, if Edmund had called you a B, you better not marry that man.
Yeah.
So I saw a bit of him just perish inside when the camera went to him. Okay. Oh, Alicia says, story time with Ricky. Interviewed Joe's new girlfriend. Why she look like a skinny Madison? Well, here's the thing. Madison is skinny now.
Yeah, I heard Madison is skinny Madison now.
Madison went through the Hannah ritual of come back, looking, half the person you were on television.
She looked the same, just thinner. She looked exactly the same, just thinner.
Yes, she does. But yeah, we love story time with Ricky, and we love Justy Woo around here. So yes, y'all could feel free to spill any tea, in the comments. Okay. They're in front of each other in the preview. You see them hugging each other. Looks like Edmund is crying at the wedding. Yeah, they make it to the wedding.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I didn't see that. Thank you, Minyara. I didn't see that. I appreciate that.
We understand you. You see the emotions, though. You see the emotions. Now, since that was it, I don't think this next couple will even make it to the aisle. And I know it's an unpopular opinion. Jordan and Megan.
Oh, you don't think they're going to make it?
That man told you he is tired, and you're not listening to him.
He was that close to walk away.
The catechism between them is diabolical. The thing is, it's one thing if we ain't really talking, or we ain't really doing whatever. The hard part with this is that y'all don't have the same lifestyle at all. Megan has the money. I think Megan had the matchmaker before. That's how she ended up with the billionaire that she said she was with. But here's the thing. When you start saying, I would like you to come play tennis with me on Wednesday, come for the weekend, let's go travel here, there, and everywhere. He can't do that. He has a child with medical needs. If the child's mother calls him because she needs him, he's got to be available. And he don't want nannies. She wants the nanny handling stuff. And then when she sat there and said, oh, the house I looked at has a wonderful school system, absolutely wonderful. Why are we talking this and like if the child doesn't have a mother? Why are you rearranging my entire life? And I'm telling you, we could just sit here quietly. You're just da 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 da. The only thing Jordan did this week that I really liked was that he got that cowboy hat set on fire. I said, thank you, Jordan, because I would love to see it lit on fire too. Y'all, that is to burn off the excess fibers and to also seal and in many cases really waterproof the hat. I was like, that is cool, and I have that in a short. That is cool, Jordan. Thank you very much for showing that. But then when Megan started talking about da 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 da, I said, no, you want to control this life, and because you have the pocketbooks and purse, you're gonna control it. But here's where I'm gonna get on Jordan. Jordan, you told us in the past that you were happy and excited to be with Megan, and you can't wait to travel the world. But now, you talking about it's going to be tedious traveling with a 5-year-old to Italy. She done told you we were traveling to Italy in the past. She told every man that she was dating, let's go to Italy for my friend's wedding. Now it's tedious. Now you don't want to hear it. I understand you don't want to talk about your job. But my thing is, what's going to happen if Megan says, Jordan, I think you work too hard. And I make enough money to sustain us both. Let's talk about it. You can have, certainly, if you want to be the stay-at-home dad and not have, a nanny, let's talk about it. I can give you the black card. Here's your stipend. This is your spending money. Let's get it done. What are you going to say?
No.
Yeah, he's not.
No.
Go ahead, Sam.
So, and I always sound like a broken record, but sorry, broken record I'll have to be. Once again, yet again, folks, this is why you have to have these conversations in the pod in terms of the things they were talking about that she was initially hitting was you don't talk. You're on your phone. I'm cleaning the counter. I'm preparing the trash that needs to be dumped. I got to tell you to dump it. All of this is being done in silence. Again, as I said it when we had a previous conversation, they would never put me on a reality show because I am boring. I know you can't tell here because I feel like I'm among friends and family, and I love, love, love this group, and I look forward to these chats. But I'm introverted. I am shy. I'm not an out person. I don't do a lot of talking, believe it or not, because it's what I do for a living. So when I'm not having to do it, I don't necessarily do it. By the time you hear me say those things, Trey, I'm loving the vibe. I'm loving what we've got going. But you should know that behind that, I'm not necessarily talkative. I can be shy. I'm willing to kind of come out of my shell if you're more of an outgoing person. But at my core, this is who I am. That would have been things that needed to be talked about because I never heard that either. I was just as shocked that he wasn't much of a talker as she was because that isn't something that he talked about. I felt in part a little bit of excuses were happening with the son in the sense that for a moment I thought, is he a full-time? Not full-time dad. I don't mean it like that. Of course he's a full-time dad. Does he have his son full-time or does he have shared custody?
Shared custody.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have,
okay. So if 50% of the time your son is with his mom, then there's a 50% of the time where you do have some flexibility. You do have an opportunity to take that trip to Italy that you're saying would be a nightmare if you had to take your son. No, I think you have some flexibility, but I think that as this is moving along, maybe the not talking much, maybe is because he is seeing her as aggressive, not even assertive, but aggressive in his face. Maybe it is beginning to feel emasculating to him. Maybe there are parts about himself that he didn't say necessarily because that wouldn't have been the sexy stuff to talk about in a pod. So maybe he wasn't as forthcoming about his laid back nature and should have been. But he's speaking as if there would never be time for flexibility. he works all the time. He wants to come home. He doesn't want to talk. It did seem like there was this almost, maybe excuses is not a good word, but there was just kind of the buildup of things that were making it more difficult, which is now getting confusing to her. Now, on her side, was she being unreasonable? Yeah, because if she's working from home, and I'm guessing that she might be, at 4 o'clock, you can go ahead and play tennis. Yes, at 2, you can take that little brunch at wherever. It's not realistic to think that he can do that. If you want to have a reasonable conversation with him, there's got to be a way to do that, but not in the way I don't think she's necessarily presenting it. So they're both not doing something. They're both not being forthcoming and open. He's saying, well, I don't know what to say. He does know what he wants to say. For some reason, he's just not feeling comfortable saying it. And I don't think she intends to make it, Elsa, when you mentioned about the school district, I'm going to give her a little bit of grace. I don't think she's intending to sound like, she's trying to take over the mom role per se. I think she's just trying to show him that she is thinking about Luca. She is thinking about the things that keep it a family unit. Now, I agree. She needs to think more in the sense of bonus mom instead of mom. She seems to not have the bonus perspective that she needs to bring to the table. It's more so she's taking it in as if this is going to be, as if he is a father who has a son 100% of the time. So I do think that she needs to rethink that and reset that a little bit. But I do think these are conversations that they could have had in the pods about personality and who are you when you get home after 5 and what does that look like? If he's saying I'm a sit at home Netflix type of guy in the evenings, that might have been something he needed to fess up about, because she doesn't sound like a Netflix and chill person primarily.
No, she definitely not chill. But I wonder, did Jordan tell her what he told us in the men's lounge, that he can't financially support another person? Did he tell Megan that? Does she know that? Because she ain't moving like she knows that. Because last week when she was like, oh, we'll just get a $500,000 loan. We just get this house, $2 million. What is Jordan's, the mother of his child, what is her lifestyle like? Because you have to also consider that his son will be moving from their lifestyle to his mother's lifestyle and back and forth.
But she knows he drives a Kia. I mean, even if he doesn't think she's got money, he said she won't even say what her car is.
Right. We still don't know what Megan's driving. And
we still don't know what she's rolling in. So I think she knew enough to know, which is why Mike wasn't the selection, because Mike would have been more in alignment with what she normally chooses. I think she doesn't, to your point of earlier, she probably doesn't necessarily have an issue with standing up and leading financially, but he has an issue with it.
But what do we have in common other than your son has type 1 diabetes like my dad? Bingo. What do we have in common?
It makes her laugh. That's it.
You guys hit the nail on the head.
And the best she ever had.
Yeah.
Yes. And if she thinks that her father, and I'm sorry, Trey, I'm going to say this and let you go. I don't mean to monopolize. If she thinks her father, may he continue to rest in peace, has any kind of spiritual involvement in this union, that may be why she's going to hang in this a little bit, make it down, at least get down the aisle, give it a go. And if it doesn't work, because I think if she and her sister and her mom are tied to her father and that he may be involved, there was the dream that was had, if they're hanging on to the emotionalness of that, then that might keep her in this a little bit longer. Although her patience is waning, as we can see.
I don't think Jordan even shows up to the wedding. How about that?
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, I kind of think
his son can't be there.
That's true.
Yeah, but that was already known from the very beginning. So in this particular episode, since that last particular episode, I agree with both parties on this, Megan and Jordan. It was a situation where both sides are absolutely correct. Two things can be right at the same time. As far as Jordan coming home and everything, feeling tired, not, talking to people all day, he just want to decompress. I get it. I've been in that boat before. I really don't want to talk. Nah. I've been in that boat before. Not in this career, but previous career, definitely. You know, I was in retail for a number of years, and then I was in the army for a number of years. Nothing but talking to people all day, all day. I really didn't want to talk to anybody after when I got home at all. You know, so I get that part. But Megan was correct. We are in a relationship. We have to decompress with together. You have to conversate with one another when we get home. Honestly, the solution was actually pretty simple. They were just too hard-headed not to see it. I was waiting for somebody to say, hey, how about, you know, I'm not trying to take up all the time. I was talking all night. I understand you might be tired, but how about we just, you know, talk about each other's day for 20, 30 minutes when we get home. And then we can just go and watch a movie. Mm-hmm. At least start from someplace. No, they were just too hard-headed trying to prove each other's point to even come to a conclusion. Now, I'm about to touch on the sensitive subject because it's going to cause some fights. I've hate this narrative, and to me it's very comparative. I hate this narrative that yes, Megan got money, hands down, but I can't sit here and call Jordan a brokey. That's crazy. The man is not broke. He has a career. But most of his funds, he probably have a lot more material things, but most of his funds, as we have seen, is going to his son's medical bills and take care of his business. The problem here, when we're in a situation where the diaspora is reversed, you know, you have a woman that is making more money and a man that has less. At least from a man's point of view, it's hardly ever about how much money you make. It's how you wield your money and how you lord it over other people. That's what really worries a lot of men when you're dating a woman with money. I'm going to tell you why Jordan came on the show. The reason why he made that comment, El said, you know, in the men's lounge, he can't take care of another person, financially take care of another person as third. He came here to look for someone to match him. He actually came here looking for a 50-50 situation. That's what he came over here for. You know, he looking for the match, not to take care of, but someone to bring it in. It's just with Megan, he got a little bit more than he initially.
He got more than a handful. He got more than a handful.
And that comes with its own challenges, you know, because just from my opinion, there's two things going on with Megan, okay? And they're both pros and cons. Number one, she's too used to throwing money at her problems. She is doing too much by trying to, you know, look for schools for him and, oh, look at this, and, you know, it's too much. Honestly, it's not your responsibility. The only thing you're here to come in to do is, if need be, as a stepmother, help out. Because he's probably going to need the help. Not take over and not dictate. Because I'm sorry, but he's not your son. You got to go through Jordan. You got to go through Luca's mother first. Of all
the
things.
mother is the custodial parent.
Yes. So she's been there are times where she's been far too presumptuous to be making some of these decisions that she's making, which leads me to the second point. Megan does have controlling issues. She does. Sorry to say, not more here, but she does. And it is stemmed from her earning the money that she has earned. I'm not taking that from her. That woman earned her money. More power to her. But we said this before. I think her family's always been well off, but she's made her millions herself. She's new money. I'll give an example. We said it earlier in the show. Look how Nick wields his wealth. He doesn't you don't even see him talk about it too much, and he doesn't really lord it over other people either. He got it though. And I think that's half the reason why the men was kind of hating on him too, because they know he had it. You know, and he can flex on you if he wanted to. But in most cases, he's very demure about it. I'm gonna use that word. He's very demure with his money because he knows he doesn't have to flex on it. For some odd reason, Megan is still in the realm of she wants to flex. She wants the huge house. She wants to stand out and have people see her and acknowledge her for what she has. Like, you know, she's still stuck on her materialism. She's very materialistic. She has to be the center. She needs people to say, hey, Megan, good job. Hey, Megan, congratulations. You know, she has to have the look. And to sort of,
I only push back on that because if she wanted to look, she could have had Mike.
But Mike, here's the pushback against that. The reason, Mike was somewhat the look, but she saw what she would have ended up with Mike in the first place. She does still want a decent man. She wants
to be a power couple.
Yes, but she wants to be a power couple, but she still wants a decent man to be that power couple with. With Mike, you're going to get the power couple, but he's also going to treat you like any other man that you've been dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Jordan is a charity case for her. I'm sorry.
Yes, to a certain extent, but emotionally, he had some of the things that she wanted and needed. She said that. And however you want to look at it, emotionally, you know, even though he can get a little testy, Jordan does know how to handle her emotions and emotionally. He knows how to handle it. She sees that it's like, no, she's not stupid. This is what I need for the most part. Someone that can handle me in this manner. She decent. So if she could try to fit together and turn Jordan into that power couple, she's going to try and do that. But in the process of doing that, she's pushing Jordan away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, listen, I'm a humble guy. You know, I don't. He doesn't look for the limelight. He doesn't mind playing the backfield. He don't need to stand out front. You know, he's not that type of dude. He's not lazy. He's gonna work hard for whatever he got to do. He's not doing that. He's just not that atypical alpha stereotype. I'm like that. I don't need to stand out front. I don't need to, you know, be out and see everybody see me. Half the time I already know I'm doing better than most people. But guess what? You ain't got to hear me say it. I ain't got to show you. I just need to make sure that my responsibilities are taken care of. That's it. And that's really what Jordan is.
I agree with you. Jordan is stand up. He's willing to work. Okay. And I think that here's the thing. You said it perfectly when you said that he knows how to emotionally be gentle with her, handle her, be firm when he needs to be. Here's the problem. She's not returning it.
Yeah.
When I tell you, you know, I look at Jordan and I talk all kinds of stuff like, why would a 25-year-old man get the snippety snip? Because you want to be wild out here. I say all of that, but I can't stand the baked, unseasoned chicken and Crystal Light he puts in the blender, and that's his breakfast, and his body looks like that. There's something wrong because he should be looking more cut. And he should be up for Mr. Universe if that is what you have for breakfast. So Jordan, you're gonna have to give up that diet. But when I tell you, I felt when he said it, and you know, and I felt it on the level of being a parent that has a child that you gotta get up for in the middle of the night. When he said, "I'm just tired all the time. I'm tired all the time," that really humanized Jordan for me.
Mm-hmm.
Other than somebody that I'm watching on an edited show online. He's like, I'm tired all the time. And she's like, but you don't want to talk to me. And you don't want to say, and it's like, that to me solidified in his mind, again, I'm talking to you, but you're not listening. You're not listening. I'm tired and you're making me more tired because you want me to do more. I'm just tired, Megan. I need you to help me. And I don't see her carrying that. And here's another burden. His dad was giving licks the entire dinner at him. Jordan didn't crack a joke. Jordan didn't laugh at a single thing.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad was like, he looking for a Whopper or a Happy Meal. It takes 10% love, 90% commitment. And she looking at his son like, you going to be committed this time? It was jab after jab after jab. And, grandchildren are, byproduct of the fact that you didn't end your teenager. That was another jab at Jordan. What was his teenage years like that his dad probably wanted to end it? I mean, I was listening that entire time and I was feeling for that man in that moment because his dad, every time we saw a clip, his dad was saying something that was like a quirk at him. And when he said, I'm tired, that also brought back that dinner with the parents. Not saying that's the only thing. The dad could have said good things. Production piled it on for us, but that was a lot. That was a lot that night. And when he said that, I'm sorry, tired all the time. It brought me back when I had my first kid, and when that child wouldn't go to sleep, you changed their pamper, they fed, they burped, and they still crying. I had no idea what to do.
What he fell short of saying, and I agree with you, I felt like what he was saying is, I'm tired, and quite frankly, you're draining me. And the prospect of what this will look like is draining, because I don't know if he's introverted and shy. I can't speak to that, but I am. And as such, your energy gets I know that I'm very sensitive to the things that I feel are going to rob me of peace. And so the idea that they're out of out of their pods, I don't say the cubes, they're out of the pods, they're in real life, they've fitted themselves for what they're going to wear, the wedding's in 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it is. I think it is all just seeping in, because he was on a high when he was trying on his suit. He said, I'm in.
It was burgundy. It was burgundy.
Yeah, she didn't look like that.
What is wrong with burgundy? What's wrong with burgundy?
Have you ever seen the movie called Kinky Boots?
I haven't even heard of that.
Okay, that will be your homework assignment. Watch that, okay? There are several versions of it. And the gentleman that played alongside Denzel, I don't want to butcher his name, in Inside Man. It's about in Europe, in UK, there was a factory making men's shoes like Clark's, okay?
Okay.
Old, thing. And they were finding that men don't want to buy dress shoes anymore, so they had to change it. So the man, the Prices, the son, went out into London and he went to a drag show. He did not know it was a drag show.
Oh boy.
But he saw, and what he did see was the lead performer said, daggone it, these heels always breaking. So he figured, I will create a heel and boot that will sustain the weight of a man, but look like a lady's boot. And the first one he brought out to say, oh, look what I have done. They said, burgundy. You made burgundy. No, that is for comfy. That is stale. That is not pizzazz. You need to do red. When I tell you that is one of my favorite scenes, he's like, red is love, fire, desire, not burgundy. That's why I said it like that. I'm sorry.
Jordan is burgundy, though.
He is.
Jordan is burgundy. That's who he is.
Yes. But he was all in. He was all in that burgundy. And she was all in because she asked for his parents' blessing. So they were, it wasn't but 5 minutes ago, everything was everything. So I don't know what got her to the place of that to, you're not talking. I can't get you to say a word. What are we doing here? I think that it could have been his natural personality, but I would be willing to mention, just because I say that, because I'm a pretty sensitive person. It could all be sinking in, the house, the money. No matter how much I try to reassure her that Luca is more of my responsibility than hers, she still kind of circling that like a hawk. She's still circling like a hawk the whole issue of the house. You know, it may be, he may be feeling really weighed down, and that'll make you tired too. Work will make you tired. A son that has special needs due to no fault of their own can get you a little exhausted, but a person that is sucking the life out of you can also get you tired.
I'm gonna encapsulate these two into one thing. I can still see them working. It just would take a lot of work, but there's two main issues that will always hold them back, and it's personality issues. Jordan may be too much reserved for her, and she might be too much of an attention seeker for him. For them to truly work it out. Because by him being super reserved, whatever, yeah, he ain't gonna, he's not trying to be out, like I said, not be out front, be seen, this and that, third. Doesn't care about that. She's somewhat of an attention seeker, so she's looking for that. And those two things, that's where they really butt heads at. And it's affecting everything else around her. Everything else. That's their main difference between those two. He's very reserved, and she's attention seeking.
Sparkle Megan.
Yeah, she gotta shine.
Yeah.
It ain't even that she gotta shine. She feels like she has to shine, which is, I've always thought that was weird when you first introduced yourself that way. Why do you feel like you gotta be shown so much?
Well, I at first, Trey, like you, thought the whole Sparkle Megan was, cringy a little bit. But remember, there are 15 women and there's another Megan in the bunch. And if I want to be remembered, because she's Megan W, I wouldn't use Megan W. If you have something like that to make sure people remember who you are, I was like, okay, I understand. Everybody knows she's Sparkle Megan. She's different. It's not Megan W. It's not stale, but I understand what you're saying. Okay.
But that's in real life, though. She really is Sparkle Megan.
She is. She is.
So it's like, yeah. You want to stand out so bad.
I'm not going. I'm not going to call. Just Rhonda. I'm not going to call Jordan simply broke. What I will call him is an average person. Because the average person, if they have a child that has medical needs, I think they will, have to make the choices he makes. You're going to have to work that job that you're talking all day. You're a manager. You can probably, you could afford to have the 2-bedroom, but it's not financially feasible for you to sustain that. It's best for you to get a 1-bedroom so you can have the money for all of his other medical needs, because it's a lot.
He's making real sacrifices for his son.
Yes.
Real sacrifices.
So I wouldn't call him broke.
Yeah, I can guarantee you if he wanted to, he can have the look. That's what we're talking about here. Just have the materialistic look of a better life, period. But he put his son first. Like, you know what? Nah, I need to make some sacrifices, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah. And, at first I thought maybe that whole chicken diet was also a budgetary decision, but then because his body ain't cut for all that. Come on, Jordan. I'm gonna need you to be like, the pectorals need to be jumping and dancing for you to be having that kind of diet.
Unfortunately, due to their genetics, white men don't really cut like black men do, and not as easily. And honestly, even he's not even he's working out just enough to stay relatively thin and in shape, whatever. He's not working out hard to build muscle, nothing like that.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah.
Like there's different types of working out, and what are you trying to do? He's more built like a marathon runner. A lot of marathon runners don't have super cut up chiseled bodies, but they're conditioned to run.
Well, he's conditioned to blend his chicken and drink it. Okay.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Keep that weight off.
When did Crystal Light become seasoning?
Yeah.
That's just nasty. We all agree.
Yeah. We
But you know what? He got a brand deal because I saw a commercial on social media with him and a certain blender that is going to blend down the chicken to make it smooth. Okay?
Hey,
Oh, there you go. We'll
He got a
see.
brand deal.
that man ain't stupid. He gonna make it work. Okay? He gonna make it work. He gonna find a way to increase his funds. Look, hey, he's not a broken. He's just very frugal and smart with his funds. I got responsibilities. It don't mean I ain't trying to, make better or do better.
I think he's also super and hyper aware of how, unfortunately, his son could be used in this as a marketing tool.
Yes.
And I'm glad that he and the son's mother are on the same page of we're
That's
not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Because he can be, the poster child family and all this kinds of stuff. It's like we're not going to utilize this. And I could see how the son could be seen and become an accessory in a trajectory on social media.
And that's the one thing he's trying not to do.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that Jordan, has his Jordans planted firmly on the ground in that respect. But I feel like she is giving financial support. I don't see Megan giving the emotional support he's saying that he needs. The man is tired.
He knows how to.
But does he even know how to tell her?
Good question. I don't know. Does he know how to ask effectively what type of emotional support he needs?
I think we could see that he couldn't because of her approach, because of the way she was speaking to him. It was off-putting. And I think while he knows how to patiently speak to her in conversation, she's not able to return that.
Right.
And I know the tomatoes, people are going to start, I'll give you a few seconds to start polishing up your tomatoes because they're coming. Megan, to me, and I say this in the most respectful way because I'm old. I'm 50. Well, not old, but I'm older, 55. Megan, to me, is 33 going on 50. Here's what I mean. Just bear with me for a second. I don't mean in terms of what she looks like, but I mean in her mature aura of expectation, because she is only 33. But she has this aura about her that feels more familiar to me as a woman in my 50s than it ever did when I was in my 30s, to be honest.
Yes.
And I think it's this aura where, to me, I get the feeling that she's craving this sophistication. It's feeling like she hasn't done a whole bunch of dating that was meaningful. And so she actually is very inexperienced, and her slip is showing in how she's very emotional. She's bending over backwards and twisting herself into knots about where she fits as a mother, though he's been very clear what that would look like. There's a maturity that kind of abrupt, hey, you say next to nothing. That works well in the business world. It works well when you have to play that chess move in certain areas. But when it comes to real life, there seems to be an impatience that she has, and he's able to dial her back. For instance, when he kind of got a little bit of a lick in when he said to her, well, the billionaires that you were chasing, how did that work out for you? There was a reason why, right? There was a reason how you landed here, because the billionaires of which you speak, those weren't working out so well for you. So what is really what at this point? And so I think that there's something she wants, and in those areas she's immature. But then there is this, like I say, 33 going on 50 vibe where she wants to have this life and buy this 1.2 mil, and this is what we can do, and let's play, tennis at 4:30. And well, those are not things that the typical, I know I was trying to build myself in my 30s. It wasn't, you're trying to get to where you need to be. And I don't know. Trey's very interesting. I'm trying to decide if I agree with you or slightly disagree with you, Trey, on the leading with finances. I can't help but wonder because I don't have finances, but I tend to kind of like control myself. And that's not tied to my money, because like what money? But I wonder if it is really that she's financially motivated, or is it a control thing? Because those two can be very separate things.
They can't. This is why I brought up the example of Nick. in
Yeah.
this same situation. Nick probably just like hers come from money, but he's also had to work to get his own money where he is. But if you notice, he never actually leaves with it in like a resolution to a problem. It's never that.
Mhm.
He also said he wants his son to work for stuff.
Yeah, got to work for
Mhm.
things. Megan, on every issue that has come up, and even when it comes to Luca, it's always of what can I buy, what can I get to fix the problem. She's throwing money at it.
Mhm.
And Jordan keeps telling her it's not about the money.
Mhm.
It's about the relationship that you build with him. That's what's
Yeah.
more important. That's why I equated to her like she comes from a little bit of money, but she's new to this, her own money. You know,
Yeah.
she's still kind of new to this. So that's why I keep saying she wants the look of it all. She wants to stand out, and she's using her money to flaunt that, to stand out, to get into certain crowds and stuff. So it's I don't think she's a bad woman at all. I think
Right.
there's some qualities about her that yes, I can see them working, but she has some certain qualms about herself that I'm like, I see why you have gotten here the way you are on this show in certain situations, you know, because I thought it was so odd when she said, it wasn't odd. I understood what she said, but I thought it was so interesting. She said she dated an almost billionaire guy and she hated it because he didn't have time for her.
Mhm.
Okay. Even though he was financially stable, probably doing money and would have got whatever she wanted. Hated it because she probably felt unseen. She been with the guy that didn't have money, but he had time for her. And she specifically said that was the best relationship she ever had.
Mhm.
I was like, well, that's interesting to say that. The one that didn't have the money, that you was probably fronting everything for, it was the best relationship you had up to that point until you meet Jordan. Because before she met Jordan, she said, I came in here to find a guy that's somewhere in the middle.
Mhm.
And Jordan's directly in the middle. He just comes with an asterisk. He got a son that has a medical condition.
Well, he's
That
not. Well, he's
Go
not
ahead.
quite in the middle. I'm sorry to cut you off, Trey. Please forgive me. He's not quite in the middle because there's a stimulation she's not getting. And I'm
Well,
talking
now,
about a side of the bed. She needs to, he's not talking according to her.
well,
There's conversation that's not even, she feels like, boy, I gotta really, no, tell me about your job. I'd be fine to hear about your job. I want to hear you complain about the guy that steals your donuts, from your fridge.
that's cool. I would do that. But this is why I say this is funny. This whole non-communicating when they come home, this is new.
Yeah.
This is new.
Yeah.
So the only reason why it's coming up now because she's starting to see a pattern of it. Like, whoa, wait, because
Yeah.
beforehand, even though I don't think Jordan said it correctly. I think he was wrong for how he said it. That was just in the pause. Unfortunately, it is. That was just in the pause. You are in a condition where all you can do is talk,
Yeah.
and he can talk. You
Yeah.
don't have an issue with it. He can talk effectively to her.
Yeah.
Problem is now you're in a situation where the everyday is coloring how you deal with things. Yes, I've been at work all day talking to people with their issues and problems, and plus that's just customers. They have to deal with my team and their issues and problems. Yo, I really don't want to talk right now,
Mhm.
especially to the level. If you notice, when Megan likes to talk, she tries to go to the bottom of the ocean and understand everything. Let's get to the depths of it all.
Mhm.
It's just a
But
little
I
too
think,
much.
but I think High Vibe said it beautifully. She's scared they won't connect emotionally. I agree with that 1,000,000,000%. I think High Five is right, and that is why she's going to the depths. Numerology. Number 7 is the number of completion, and it stands for spirituality. Number 8 is the number for wholeness. And he's like, really, we need that to be. We're going to pick a house based on the house, the address, and what the numbers equate to. I think that she is trying to that's what I mean when I say, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's what I mean when I say she's trying to find this middle ground, and she is going to the depths of the oceans to have an intellectual conversation about a bottle of Snapple, because I think she is concerned that if they lose that emotional connection, what do they have left? It's not money, because she's got the money. It's not a child, because he's got a child and he's willing to have more. But if you can't talk.
Well, this is where some of the real issues arises. Now, granted, all of this is going to be put in a pressure cooker because you have a small amount of time to figure all this out before you say, quote, pretty much, I do. Think about this if this was a normal relationship. If you really look at it, this is why I'm not too mad about how Megan is handling this, but I can understand the pitfalls of it. Jordan is kind of going through this like this is some regular normal relationship. He's actually putting in the time, like, listen, this is, I've been working hard the last few days, and, I just didn't want to talk at this point in time. I just want to chill with you. He didn't say he want to chill by himself. I just want to sit with you and watch a movie and just sit together with you. Spend time with you that way. Yeah. I just don't have the capacity to keep the conversation going. She's like, no, I need to build some type of, I want to kind of recontextualize what to go to Africa said in that last bit. Where something I think it might have been above, but it might have been something above. He's trying to I know it was the last part. She's trying to build everything fast. But I'm not gonna say she's trying to build an emotional connection. In her mind, they already built the emotional connection in the pods. That's the reason why she wanted him in the first place. She's trying to keep that emotional connection the way it was in the pods right now. And on that point, I can understand her wanting that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you might be pushing too hard, too fast for it all. Because the only thing it seems like you're doing is just pushing him away.
Yes, I see that.
That's the only thing that is accomplished.
Now, I know what you're saying in the comments that tired is a lame excuse. I'm not going to begrudge him of being tired. He has to work his job. He has to also meet and be with production and film this. He also has to be a parent, whether it is part-time, half the time, whatever. I would have to ask Jordan a question. Has he ever gotten in a relationship this close to marriage before? Because the one thing I may be overthinking is that even though, Megan's like, oh, Jordan's, the mother of his son is, pretty chill, cool, there's no da-da-da-da-da. How are they parenting together? How are they making decisions? Because if they're making decisions where the mom is the custodial parent and she's making all these decisions, yet I have a fiance here right now who wants a high level of input.
She can't have that.
She can't. So now he gotta be like Ben-Hur, okay? He gotta make sure the horses are in line. Megan, you can't. He keeps on telling her, you can't buy him the Gucci bag, can't do this, can't do that. Yet we don't know what the mother of his child is also saying, because remember, she has a husband and a whole other child too.
Yes.
So that whole dynamic, I would love to, y'all for real know that dynamic. Has Jordan ever been in this situation? And has the child's mother been in a situation where now we have a fourth adult?
Well, the child's mother definitely has been in a situation because she's actually married.
Right. No, but I'm saying if Jordan had a lady that was at this point he was almost going to marry that had some say.
This is the first time.
And that is huge to navigate too.
It's given the first time. And it's a lot to deal with because I can tell just by a dude and how he was acting, him I noticed a weight coming off of his own shoulders when he said we have to meet the mother first
Yes.
and see how that go.
Mm-hmm.
After that happened, I noticed a weight off of him. Was like, okay, cool. We got past that hurdle. He wasn't too worried about Luca because Luca was already excited to beat her. He was ready to beat her. He just is noticing he has to get Megan in the right mindset. Because this is what I would have told Megan. This is just me in this situation. And honestly, I had to do this in even my own relationship. I had to do this. I said, listen, okay? You are not his mother. He has a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. You got to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
What I need you to do for now, at least starting off, is be his friend. That's what I need.
Play a position.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to be his friend. Someone that he can confide in and talk to. That's going to be the biggest help in the relationship with him, his mother, with me, everything. Be his friend. Someone that he can trust and provide and have that trust to talk to. You may become someone that he would want to prefer talking to. He might can tell you things that he'd be afraid to tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Be his friend. We can worry about some financial responsibilities down the line. But honestly, we don't need you for that. We don't need you for that. Be his friend. At least when it comes to his son. She's trying. The only thing that I would tell Megan you need to relax on and stop pushing on is when it does come to Luca. Everything she's doing, oh, I looked at this school house, this great school district. That too much. That's too much. And it's not your responsibility.
You ain't going to school in our district.
It's not your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. The only thing you need to be focusing on is building this relationship with Jordan and being available to build a relationship with Luca. That's it. She's literally trying to plan out their super future and how it would look. And that's when you start seeing Jordan doing the pushback. Like, whoa, no. I told you, you don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You told her multiple times. You don't need to do that. Stop leading with funds.
Mm-hmm.
Open your heart and get to know these people first. Get to know my son.
Because if y'all realize, and it just came to me, he's asking her to be what she wants. Someone who spends time.
Mm-hmm.
Not money, time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said she wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's not seeing it.
No, she's not. Yeah, that's what's missing. She's not seeing it, and it's interesting because you've said two things, and I hope I'm getting them right, El said, but you've said two things that really resonate with me. Your last question I thought was excellent as a question of how close have you ever come to a marriage? And I think in a past conversation, or it might have been this one, or everything kind of runs together. Also the idea of, when you're in the pods, what do we have in common? Those probably are the top two questions. If you don't talk about anything else in these pods, I think what you've posed become two of the most important questions ever. Because to be honest with you, the introvert that I am, if you say to me, what I like to do is Netflix and chill and maybe go to the neighborhood, whatever cafe and have coffee and maybe walk the outside mall and come back. That sounds amazing to me. Thank you. That sounds awesome. I'm a Netflix and chill type of girl. Okay, and I live in the entertainment capital of the world, and ask these hotels when's the last time they saw me. Like never. 3 days after never is when you saw me, because that is what I could have in common with somebody like him, because that's who I am and what I like. If you're talking about that in the pods and you know that you're not a Netflix and chill type of a person, that kind of lets you know where, if any place, that can go. But if you're not having that conversation, then for it to be a surprise after the fact tells me that you have not had those things where you say, our time here is short. What do we have in common? We need to get that discussed on the front end. Because as you say, Megan's not getting it. I don't think she is intentionally trying to look for the school district. I don't think she's intentionally trying to do, but the way you and Trey have explained it is exactly right. And I would make the same mistake she was making. I would think if I don't do these things, it's going to look like I don't care. If I don't have these conversations, it's going to look like I'm not trying to be a part of his life. I would be the girl that you do have to say exactly what y'all have said, Sam. That's, stay in your lane, shop in aisle 9. See this number 9? That's your aisle. You shop in aisle 9 because that's not your role. No offense. Respectfully, that's not your role. And I'm learning that from you guys.
Hey, Elsa, can you pull up To Goes to Africa's last comment? You're absolutely correct. And as crazy as this might sound, it's going to sound like a double negative, but I believe in this. Us as men, we need to do a better job communicating that I don't feel like communicating right now, babe, because of this, that, third.
Yeah.
And I said that to Jordan on the TV. I'm looking at him, I'm like, bro, I feel you. I can see it on your face. You don't really feel like talking, but you gotta navigate that a bit better the way he did, because it was just biting the way he was doing it, because she was pushing and he was like, yo, I'm getting stopped, and it just came off super biting. But you gotta do a better job of communicating, baby. I'm tired. You know what, baby, I'm tired. I actually just want to come home and curl up into you. Make it sound sweet, sexy. I just want to curl up into you, babe. That's all we want to do. But I give you this. How about, let me take a nap for about 30 minutes. And when we get up, watch a movie, and I can tell you what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Would that work?
Because she sounds like she's surprised. She doesn't sound like she knew what he was, because if she knew, why is she shocked he's not doing a lot of talking? And why is she should know, maybe, perhaps, I don't know, but she's not
she wouldn't, but we won't know. We have to talk in the pod,
because you'd have to talk about it.
But you also have to ask the person, are you usually a talker, or is it just the pods?
I agree.
Because other than that, we're sitting in a room quiet and we're looking at whatever. But he's talkative. He is talkative when he's trying to court. But then again, the pods was just the pods. I had food, drink, the fellas were in the pods. Now I'm back out here, and I am back in rotation as a parent. Again.
Pods not real life.
Pods are not real life.
Pods are not real life. So now all of real life. And here's the thing. Many people, we realizing in Denver, many people still have to go back to work. They have to go back to work.
Yeah.
So again, it's the pods. Yes, it's a vacation. The vacation they had is a vacation. It is not their everyday life. And now we got to work the everyday life. Yeah. But you should talk and say, hey, this ain't me every day.
Yes.
This ain't me every day.
Yeah.
But you know what? What is me every day? Sometimes, Megan, I wish we could just chill right here and just listen to some music.
Yes.
Could we just chill? Can we have a pod date where I be the DJ and we do some dance moves or whatever? Something. You got to tell them this is not you.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with ourselves. I at least with the people that's simple here today, I feel like we would be saying the same thing if Megan was the one that came home tired from work and didn't feel like talking, but Jordan wanted to talk. I'd be saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to respect the fact that she may be tired from doing whatever she was doing at work. So how you communicate, you wanted to hear about her work day is one thing, and how she communicates back with you, expressing her tiredness and she just don't want to talk right now. You have to give a little bit of grace for both. You have to.
Hey, the grace I have for Megan is at least she tried the blended chicken, okay? At least she tried that blended chicken.
Now,
I would have been like,
that was diabolical. Because we can talk about Jordan all day long. Listen, the fact that he said, hey, try something, and she tried it. What?
That woman loved that man.
She knew it was nasty. She said it was nasty. It looked nasty, and yet you still tried it. Nah, you crazy too. You crazy right along with him. Y'all belong together. Figure it out.
And if she didn't try it, we'll say she ain't supporting her man in his dietary needs.
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? That'd be crazy.
Yes.
Nah, they belong together.
Y'all, we have one more couple to get to, okay? We have one more couple.
Okay.
We're already at 2 hours straight, but y'all y'all are certainly on a roll. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to be counting the beer or putting a line on the tequila bottle to know that how much is missing by the time I come home, okay? Now, Anton is part Russian, okay? Beer is like Kool-Aid or apple juice to him.
And he's from Milwaukee, right?
Yes. I think it's Russia, Milwaukee, and then not, y'all don't quote us on it. I think so. But I did have a problem, last week when Trey and I were talking about it. I did have a problem with the beers being at 7 a.m. But his 7 a.m. is most people's 7 p.m.
Exactly.
But my thing is, he was okay with sharing the last beer. Okay. He was sharing the last beer. Okay. You knew sir, you probably threw out the bottle of tequila, so you should have known the bottle ain't in the fridge.
Right.
Okay. And if he ain't counting the beers, leave it alone. He's buying the beers, making sure beers are available. I would leave it alone. It's not that huge of a deal to me. Now, if we knocking back bottles of tequila each week, now we have a problem. In my eyes.
False flag. I'm calling false flag on the bottle of tequila.
Why are you calling a false flag?
Because he asked when she tried to point that out, there was a whole bottle of tequila. What happened to that? Whatever. He was like, tequila? Wait a minute. Weren't you drinking that too? How much did you drink? She never answered. Or
maybe we weren't showing her answer. But he's like, I'll stop drinking the beers as much if you stop throwing your clothes all around. Because she panicked when she heard Patrick came around, realizing her stuff is all over the place. So here's my thing, Patrick, you need to go home. Stop hanging around the people at the pods. These are not your only friends. Okay? I'm side-eyeing you now, Patrick. Why we come into the apartment that we maybe, if Casey stayed with me, this is what we would have had. That's immediately what I thought of when Patrick is coming by the apartment. Go home, Patrick. Go home, Patrick. These aren't your only friends. Okay?
Patrick.
Whatever. Go home.
Okay?
Now, I need to ask, was Anton truly that hungry because Allie ain't cooking? Or is it that he needed that croissant, that bread to soak up all the liquor in his stomach?
Yeah, he's hungry. He's hungry.
I thought I was the only one.
That woman ain't feeding him. That man probably had nothing good to eat in a couple of days.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you brought that up because I was like, I'm going to be sounding petty and mean if I bring that up. Thank God.
Petty body. He's hungry. That man is hungry. For principle alone, everybody think that, oh God, Allie's gonna say no because he ain't got the money for her, blah blah blah. Nah, Anton, if he go first, that man saying no. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a hard no. Cause this woman, as fine as she might be, is not conducive for the lifestyle that he wants to live.
No.
Anton, there's another croissant. There is.
The man ain't eating. He's living in filth.
It wasn't even. It wasn't just that he wanted the second one. It was the way he was eating it for me. I'm cool that you want 2 or 3, but it's the way. And production was foul. They did the Zoom.
All the crumbs was on.
Oh, they were wrong.
This is making me itch a little bit personally because I'm too clean of a person to be living with Allie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That bothered me. But this was what really bothered me by Allie. At first I was cool. Now I'm on it. I'm on it, else. No. I'm on it. No. You know, it bothered me. Let me tell you why it bothered me. See, this whole time I was kind of cool on Allie. I ain't think it was gonna work, but I liked her. She was cool, blah blah blah. But this bothered me because it started with the Patrick thing. Why she was so upset. Yeah, oh my God, did Patrick come up here? Oh my God, he was up here? He's like, no, we downstairs in the lobby. And I brought him down some beers so we could talk and whatever. You know why? He was protecting her. You know why he's protecting her? Because he didn't want Patrick to see this filth that they were living in. Okay? Protecting her. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. You can't get upset. Make a statement saying that, oh, I don't clean. That's not what I do. But then get upset when people see that you don't clean, and that's not what you do. Nah.
Is that why we can only film on the couch?
Exactly. I hate to see what that bedroom look like. As a matter of fact, if you pan it over, I'm scared to see what's gonna be in the corner over there.
In the kitchen.
Because her mama told her to wash a dish.
The
Her
mama know.
told her.
The mama know. This ain't the daughter I raised. The mama know this is not the daughter I raised. What's going on here?
Well, the daughter she raised said that when she was going to school, mama did everything. So that is the daughter she raised.
And now the mama know I made a mistake.
I'll tell you.
Wasn't that Allie's mama that met the daddy online and they didn't see each other for like years?
Yep.
3 years?
Yep.
Anton says he's going to say yes.
Yes.
And I bet you. What you want to bet? What you want to bet?
If you counting my drinks now, it's a wrap. I'm buying the drinks. I'm putting it in the fridge, and you got to inventory it too. You too much of a headache.
He's gonna look past that. His mom bonded with her. His mom.
My mom. You know what? His mom's still gonna be proud of him, whether he said no or not.
That's what she said. The best thing with Anton, the best thing this week too with Anton is that friend. When that friend hyped him up, he hyped the mama up and hyped me up too. Because I was like, yes, you better tell him that's a good friend. He said, you go out there, be yourself, say yes. If that's what you want to do, and if she's the right woman for you, she'll say yes too. If not, move on with your life. I said, on it.
He was a good friend. He's a good friend. I don't know why I feel strongly that he is looking past all of that. Again, I'm gonna offer y'all the same thing I offered Ari. Drinks on me, or else drinks on me the next time you come to Sin City, because I think that man is saying yes. I think he wants her that much. I don't know why I'm feeling this strongly. My face is gonna be cracking on the ground if we watch this live and I'm wrong. It's just gonna be cracking on the ground.
It don't need to be cracked. It don't need to be cracked, because my thing is, if we're going by what we're seeing as a reasonable human being, that's like for me telling me you ate all the cereal. Oh my gosh, you ate the last croissant. It's for me, it's like, why are you inventorying that? All you need to do is say, hey, honey, that's the last beer. Well, could you, make sure that when we're getting down to, like half a case or whatever, make sure we have enough here so we don't have to share.
But if she thinks it's a flag, or if she thinks it might be a flag, I mean, so I'm always in alignment, almost in alignment with you, El Cid, but then this one I may have to depart. I would be concerned.
Right. I'm not saying she can't be concerned.
Yeah.
But it's the way you address your concerns. Yeah. Again, she's an absolutely right. She's an absolutely beautiful girl. She's, as Trey said, she's not addressing it. She is dressing him down.
Yeah. She's this is for a fight. She's picking and choosing to have a fight and using it as ammo.
Do you see it that way though? Because how I saw it was, I didn't see it as that way. I think she was saying there were 12 bears in the fridge. Now we're down to 2. Where are the others?
How long did they buy that case? We don't know.
There's a way to say there's down to 1. There's a way, Sam, to talk to him without actually dressing him down.
Yeah.
There's a way, sweetie. There's only 1. Well, I guess we're sharing. I guess, am I going to get the top half or the bottom half?
But it's easy to ask it that way if you don't have a concern. Sis has a concern.
No, I had it again. Therapy. I was, I would have been 10 times worse than Allie, and I used to be. You'd be like, "What the hell? You had all this? You done drank all of this, and you didn't even think to bring home? We could have stopped on the way to make sure we had a new 12-pack." I would have been 10 times Allie.
I don't totally concerned. I see it as deflection. That's where I'm at.
It is a concern though, Trey, and she's right to have a concern, because I need to know, 1, Are you
If it's
going to
real.
turn at 45? Are you going to have this big ass beer belly? And all
Probably
you're going to
so.
be doing,
And what?
and I don't like it.
Okay.
Is your
That's right.
stomach going to touch the steering wheel of the Big Mac, the Mac truck that you're driving?
Probably
What are we
so.
doing?
That's what I'm aspiring to.
Because
What's
I
up?
am not going to be this cutesy trophy wife to a man that looks like I should not be with him.
That's your problem.
But his
I'm talking crazy right now, though.
but his inability to answer though to answer the questions. He
It's
asked
not
her,
a problem to him.
Because he don't care. He doesn't see it as an issue. To him, I guarantee you, he came home, he has his 2 beers when he get off work, because like he works overnight. So when he comes home, yes, it's 7 a.m., but that's his night. He can't drink beers at night because he about to go into work. So I gotta drink them when I get off. Going, have my sleep, probably talk to her. Hey, how you doing? Because she works third shift too, doesn't she? If I'm correct.
Yeah, she works overnight.
yes, yeah.
So they both working on the night. So they probably coming home. He have his 2 beers. Hey, babe, how was your day? How was you doing? How was your night? They talk about it. He may talk about how his night was. All right, let's go to bed. Boom.
I'm
Now,
more
the
concerned
beer's
with the
been going.
smell of the beer breath.
The beer's been going. Honestly, most of it was explained. Let's say you have a fresh pack. You probably brought that fresh pack. Well, yeah, you probably brought that fresh pack early in the week. We're now day 3 in the week. That means 3 to 6 of them are already gone because you drank 1 to 2 a night. 5 to 6 of them are already gone. Patrick come through. All right, let's have a conversation. You bring him down 2 or 3 beers apiece. Y'all done finish off on the pack by now. So there should be only 1 or 2 left.
Then that's what he could have said to allay a woman who was, questioning him at the speed of light. The way you explained it.
Yes, I know.
But he didn't even, and then he gave the whole, which I'm sorry, to my ears almost sound like, please forgive me to anybody I might offend, because alcoholism is a real thing. I want to give that, I'm not making a joke of it and I'm not making light of it. I need to say that first. But when you lead with the whole, well, I could just not drink for 2 weeks if I wanted to, that to me I have family members who are alcoholics, and that's what they say. I could not drink for 2 weeks and I'd be great. And so when I heard that, I was like, oh no.
This is why I said this is the first time that she has brought up him drinking. Any other time, it was always in a confessional with herself, not with him. Remember back we met his friend when the homegirl spilled all the beans. It be your own people. When she spilled all the beans that they used to go out all the time and party.
Yeah.
Right.
Used to is the key word. Used to go out and whatever. But he hasn't been doing that. She got anticipated over, I feel the type of way. I think I don't like this, whatever. When did she decide to bring it up? Because it wasn't that late on that night when they went back home, whatever. It was days later after the mixer when they finally she got into it. She used it as ammo. She's not bringing that's why, to me, if it was a real concern of yours, it came from a place of caring, you kind of bring that up a little quicker. Hey, baby, I feel something's going on. I want to talk to you about it. No, she's waiting to bring it up in moments where it's going to be an argument and she can use it as ammo to win the argument. So him coming off the way he did, I wasn't surprised. That's probably the first time he ever heard anything about it. It's like, okay, yeah, the beers we're drinking, I drink a couple beers a night, so what? It's not a big deal.
And because of that, she brings it up, don't you see that's a big deal? And it's like, Allie, I would like you to not ask him since it is a big deal for you. He's like, you don't see that as a big deal? And then it's like, no. Allie, address your concerns. Don't ask him a question. Say, hey, Anton, I am concerned. We had a 12-pack of beer. It's been 5 days. I'm concerned you're drinking 2 beers a day. That's a lot. Just state it.
For her. Yeah, she did. And for her, it's a lot. Because here's the other thing that is going to cause division. Everyone, depending on where you're from, how you was raised, where you live, you're going to have different various degrees of what is socially accepted when it comes to drinking. That's why I asked the point of your question, isn't he from Milwaukee? That's a heavy drinking state. Like, they drink heavily. I would call them all functioning.
Functioning alcohol.
I ain't going to use alcoholics. I'm just functioning
Functioning
Like,
Functioning drinkers.
Yeah,
it is
You know what?
nothing-
It's how my uncle puts it. I'm a social drinker. I just
Yes.
socialize a lot. That's the problem.
right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they would literally get off work, men and women. I ain't just talking about just one sex. Men and women equally get off work, maybe head to a bar or go home, have a couple of beers or a stiff drink for a night, and it's done. Or a glass of wine, and it's done every night.
Some people it's a bottle. Okay.
Yeah. Now that's when we start to get into the wide range of when does it become abuse?
Mm-hmm.
When does it become abuse? Because there's two sides of abuse. Either abuse of your own self, your own body, meaning the amount that you're drinking is having an adverse effect on you physically,
Mm-hmm.
or abuse in the way that you are becoming so belligerent that you sounding like a Joe out here
Mm-hmm.
talking crazy, and it may be getting to another yes, exactly. It may be getting to another area that, okay, now your abusive nature, you started to develop an abusive nature that's going to affect other people around you.
Mm-hmm.
There's different stages to this. So that's why I asked, like, okay, whoa, he's having a couple of beers a night. What's the deal? Honestly, I didn't see too much issue with that. Now, he's in the trucking. I'm a truck driver. I understand exactly why he's drinking the way he is. A couple of beers when he get off work, this, that, and third. According to our laws and rules and regulations, you can have the limit is like 0.0%, and that's usually 2 bottles of beers. We only can drink it within and you have to be. It has to be out of your system at least with 8 hours prior to driving the next time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know I'm shutting down for the day, I want to go get something to eat and have a couple of beers, whatever. It's reason why we usually have a 10-hour break to reset our clocks. Within that 10 hours, by the time you get up next morning, it's out of your system. You're okay to drive legally.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. That's why you notice with him, it seems like it's limited to his little 2 beers a night. Now I'm gonna go to sleep.
Because he'll sleep maybe for 8 hours, but he's not going back to work until 12 hours later.
Exactly.
That's why I think her concern, they should have that conversation, and she should say this is a concern. But here's the thing: he is a truck driver. He is driving. He's also teaching people to drive. I don't see him jeopardizing his job for that. We heard that allegedly Annie's the one with the DUI.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't hear that Anton is jeopardizing his job for drinking. But even if it's not, Allie can and should say, "Hey, sweetie, it's a concern for me you're having 2 beers. Could we cut it back to 1 beer? Let me get comfortable with this. Could we cut it back to 1 beer? Because I think going cold turkey is going to be, you're trying to change the man and his lifestyle. But ask him. And even if he doesn't want to, how he says he doesn't want to is going to tell you a lot as well. Say, hey, can we cut it back to 1 beer? Please, sweetie. Or can we share a beer?
In no case, shApp, I don't think he is drinking driving, especially in his career. We take too many piss tests for to do something stupid like that. Too much stupidness. No, I don't think he's doing all that.
And if he can see that she's not asking the question at all, or asking it well, or asking it in a way that is accusatory, then it would be great if he could do what Trey just did and explain it. Because to my ignorance, it does look like he has a problem. To me, he looks like he has a problem. But once Trey explains it in that way, then I have to start looking at it differently. Because if you say to me, well, have you seen any signs in Love is Blind where he was slurring, where he was a Joe? I would have to say, no, I didn't see that.
He could be a quiet drunk now, Sam, because we see him a lot.
Could be quiet, be functioning, because there's some people who function beautifully and you'd never know.
Function, for God's sakes. What?
Yeah.
The vodka's in the diet. What you mean?
Right.
He's probably been drinking since he was 15 years old, though, earlier.
Right.
And what did she say? The brand she said, that's why I said it's apple juice to him. The brand she said,
Yeah.
Now, I was in Valencia, Spain a couple of years ago, and I met this lady from Germany, and she would go out with us, and she had like 5 bottles of beer. I said, "Listen to me, I don't know you, okay? I don't know you well enough to carry you to your room. Okay, we got to take a whole Uber right back to the hotel." She's like, "This is nothing. This ain't even got a percentage of alcohol that's going to do something to me." Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Tevin Cotton. It sounds like your first time here. I hope you have subscribed to the channel. Can't trust him the way he gaslit about a tequila bottle. You knew good and well there was nothing in that fridge. You even took the bottle down. Maybe he tossed the bottle out. Maybe he finished it. I don't know. I don't know.
Like I said, the way he worded that makes me think, like, hold on, I wasn't the only one drinking out of the bottle. You were drinking out of that bottle this week too. How much did you drink? And she immediately shut down the conversation because she didn't want to go down that road.
Well, if I was him, I would have said, maybe I took some to Patrick. I'd have blamed Patrick because he ain't here. Okay? Especially if I knew that I drank it, I would have blamed Patrick. Well, we started with the beers, and since we didn't want to go nowhere, I brought the tequila downstairs. Tequila probably in the garbage somewhere. I don't know. That's how I would have gaslit her. It ain't in the fridge. I ain't even getting up to be filmed because I don't want the camera panning across the room for them to see all your stuff thrown all over the room.
Listen, I just see this, honestly, I just see this as a way to turn a speck of dirt into an anthill. If you notice, outside of the things that they really should be talking about, they don't really have nothing to argue about. They haven't been in the arguments.
Here's the thing. Have we seen them be affectionate to each other?
Not really.
Have we seen them holding hands? Has anybody gotten a kiss on the cheek or the forehead?
There it is.
Yeah.
So when they took that sleigh ride and they in front of the fire, I'm sorry, I need some snuggle action. But we on 2 separate logs, and we are as Jesse Wu would say, the continents were not even meeting. They were so far from each other. I was like, that's when I clocked and I said, wait a minute. We have not seen these two be affectionate to each other
since the honeymoon or the trip. That's
were they affectionate at the honeymoon?
Yeah, for the most. If you notice, there were times
other than saying they were knocking boots, were they
not
affectionate?
Boots. Yes, there were times that whenever they were shown together, because when they were shown together, they were hugged up. There was just very few times when they were shown together, they were hugged up. But most times you see him off to himself because he seems like a person that's very content by himself. He don't need to be, need everybody to make him happy. Just like, I'm good. I am fine. I'm having a good time. I ain't bothering nobody. I'm just happy. I got my he drank more on the trip than what he's doing here at home.
Well, Trey, we were concerned at the reveal when he was more concerned with what's in his cup than turning around for the doors to close. He even forgot the ring. So we were concerned then.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe I am taking a little bit too much into cultural context. Because when I found out he was Russian, I was like, okay, him drinking, it didn't register for me because I know some Russians. They drink.
They do drink.
They drink hard.
And they have the best bar games. I'm sorry.
A lot harder than what I'm saying Anton drinking. And they're purely functional. Purely functional. So it also depends on your tolerance level as well. I can drink. I can drink people under the table. Usually when I'm out on the road, I don't drink all that much because I don't want to play the game all day. Okay, what time am I drinking? I gotta get up this time in the morning. That means because usually I like to get up 3-4 o'clock in the morning and start driving, get my day over with. I'm an early riser. So that means I gotta go to bed at least by 8-9 o'clock usually if I want to get some good night's sleep, get some decent hours. That means I probably got to at least drink early in the day, in the afternoon, like 3-4 o'clock, to really have enough time to get it out of my system. To get up. Nah, I ain't got time to do that. I just wait till I get back home, have my 2 or 3 days off, and guess what? Guess what Trey is doing? I got a glass of wine with my meals that I'm cooking, or a nice little stiff drink.
It's more wine going in the glass or in the pot.
both is pretty equal. I'm telling you right now, it's pretty equal because I cooks with my wine. Okay. I love the deglaze a pan every damn time. Let me deglaze the thing down a little bit. I'm gonna use this to make a little roux, a little juice to cover my little sauteed chicken. Boom. What?
We understand if you were blending chicken, it would be liquor instead of water.
Yes.
But
I would go. When I'm home, I would probably go through a bottle of wine by myself and eat. You know? But then again, I'm a little different because by the time I get back on the road, I'm usually not drinking it again until I come home. So, do I have a problem?
My Caribbean roots, my liver is strong. Okay.
Yeah.
My liver is strong.
I know you're taking them
that
back.
way. Possibly.
They don't possibly get out, whatever.
But rum is something that you learn to tolerate.
I know you know how to make it. I need to borrow.
No, I don't know how to make it. I don't make rum.
What?
But my husband is famous for telling me I like to drink gasoline, because if you're giving me a rum and coke, or my favorite is a pink lemonade with rum in it, is Bacardi 151.
Yeah,
I think it's sweet juice if you give me a rum that is below that level. So that's why I think I could have sympathy. My thing with him was having it at 7:00 in the morning. But as Trey was able to succinctly tell us why, my concern with Ali is I would tell him, I'm concerned you're doing it every day. Because I'm not knocking back stuff every day.
And that's a conversation to have.
Right. Now, Friday and Saturday, yes, Mr. L said we would be playing cards and he'll be like, okay, here come the bottles out. But again, we have to have the plain conversation. Now, don't you think that's too much? No, we got to say it, ladies. We got to say it outright. Hey, I am concerned. You're having 2 beers every day, even on a work night. I am concerned. And he can say whatever. And I say, honey, can we try just cutting back to 1 bottle of beer?
So what's worse, having a beer or 2 every night, or get plastered every Saturday night?
The fact you're getting plastered. That's a problem. The fact that you're getting plastered.
See, if we would have had this conversation with, say, someone like a Joe, now you would have a little more credence, because we've seen him get plastered multiple times, and he starts to get incoherent and can't handle himself, and all kind of things. But I just find it interesting when I having that conversation with Joe, even though it probably need to be had. Well, we have Anton, who is seemingly be always in self-control. We have not yet.
Because even when Joe's in there, the wedding's in 3 weeks. And I'm like, it's in 3 weeks. Yeah.
Where my drink at?
But again, he could be like my uncle. He could be one of those quiet, you don't know he's intoxicated until his eyes are at half-mast.
Right.
You don't know I'm intoxicated. I'm drinking heavy. I'm like, yep. I'm a little, and you know what? Now, unless I'm talking on the phone, then my D-Force come out. Hey, babe, what's going on?
You go into Barry White mode. Okay.
Yeah. This late at night is it's all over registry. I'm chilling. So what you doing?
Well, if anyone's interested, I can pour a mean ginger ale.
Oh, with
nothing. I'm riding the Ari train. Ginger ale with a slice of lime.
I have to say, unlike Anton, we haven't drunk in quite a while. We haven't drank anything in quite a while. So
you put some whiskey in that, then we talk.
Yeah. I told her I'm boring. Netflix, ginger ale, no alcohol.
Hey, you know what, Sam? Somebody's got to be the designated driver. Okay, I'm usually the driver. I'm usually the driver, or the backup driver when I'm going out with friends, because I need to make sure I get home. If I'm going out, no. If I'm going outside of my little town, no.
Yes.
If I'm in my little town, we're gonna have 1 margarita and we're going home.
Yes.
Because we can get home, because the bartender, I know he knows it needs to be a double margarita. Okay. So we're gonna have 1.
Right.
even back in my college days when I was like, we going to parties and house parties, you drink, I'm drinking. But if I knew I was in a situation where I had to drive home or I was driving other people home, I would curve my drinking, but like, nah, I gotta make sure they're able to function.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I don't want anything that's going to alter my behavior, and I can't make sure that I'm safe. That's my thing. I will drink with my friends, even if I'm not the designated driver, but I'm not going to be intoxicated enough that somebody got to hold my hair back or somebody's got to make sure they know where I live because I couldn't tell them. That's not going to happen. Right. I'm going to drink. I get a little tension right here. It's like, okay, hold up. That's it. I'm okay with it.
I'm a quiet drunk.
Now, my bachelorette at my house was a pajama party, and I made sure all the rooms were ready for those who needed to stay over.
Okay.
That's what we did.
Okay.
Everybody, you gonna sleep it off.
Yeah.
Do not wake me up in the morning. Just lock the door on your way out. That's it.
Okay. There it is.
But we had food.
I was the quiet drunk in the corner chilling, or I was outside on the grill making everybody food.
Right.
As long as I have some music going, you know what I'm saying? He might hear a tune or two from me.
Right.
See, Alicia, I can't get wasted on a cruise. I think I may fall over.
Yeah, that's too much water. That's too much around.
Somebody may not see me. Okay.
What happened? I don't know. You should have said the other minute. Man overboard.
Right.
Man overboard.
Right.
Like, yo.
And that's the worst thing because I have a friend that one of my long-standing friends, he's a bartender at the cruise ship.
Oh,
I don't have to pay for drinks.
Oh.
I still ain't going crazy on it. No. Then too, as a lady, as a woman, when we are intoxicated, it is too easy for, nefarious men or nefarious people to take advantage of us.
Yeah.
So not happening. I need to be able to look around a room and give a good description if I need to ID somebody. So, yeah. So, now what my friends don't like is for me to pick the spots that we're going to hang at because it's going to be eclectic. It's going to be wild. It's going to be different. You may see the police helicopter in the spotlight outside when we walk out. I mean, that's the last time I got to pick the spot. Okay. That was the last time. My girlfriends did not trust me after that. They're like, we're in the hood. Yes, we're in the hood. Okay, we're good.
We're all right.
The police. Yes, the police. At least they responded. Whatever.
At least they responded. It's crazy.
But I'm not seeing. In this, Allie has a right to be concerned. She has a right to say it, but I wish she would say it straightforward. I don't like it when we are tiptoeing around the subject. State your concern. State it so gently. Anton is not a guy to go rah, rah, rah. You could talk to him. You could talk to him. And don't look at the wall. Talk to him. Say, hey, that is a concern for me. Don't say, we just had, and how many beers? And let's do the inventory of the beers. And that's too much.
That was wow.
That is too much.
But in the same vein, I think if she can't do that or won't do that, because some people don't know that they should articulate it that way or that they could articulate that way, if he can see that she's not getting to it, he really could have popped the balloon by saying, look, you say you have some concerns, so let me explain to you, because I think after I explain it, it may feel you a little bit better about what you're feeling concerned about. Where the partner seems to not be able to meet you, then maybe you can meet them. So I think they both, if she's not asking or not asking the way she could or should, the onus then I think could have or should have been on him because she's the one with the concern and he's the only one that could kind of make her feel a little bit better about it with an explanation.
And it's not a concern for him. He just thinks this is his lifestyle, but also he's like, this is not my lifestyle. Yeah. I've calmed down to this.
Exactly.
I'm no longer going to the strip club, which I have no problem with that. I'm no longer going to the strip club. I'm no longer, drinking in excess with my friend. He's in a great relationship. I've been working on, Mama said, he's been working on himself for 1.5 to 2 years, going back to his church and all that stuff. Yeah. But the thing is, he's probably thinking, I've come down and I'm at a good level. Now she needs him to go further down, which is nothing wrong with that. It's like now he has to adjust to his partner. But what she also has to be wary of, it's two different subjects, but he is also going to bring up things that she can also change that is affecting him.
That's right. That's a great point.
And you not washing the dish or you throwing your stuff around and not picking up after yourself, he's not asking her to pick up after him.
Mm-hmm.
He's asking her to pick up after herself.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I don't have a problem with Anton bringing up the, even though it's a tit for tat situation, it's like, okay, you have said something that I need to change.
Yeah.
Here I am bringing up something you need to change.
Well, that would be fair because didn't she talk about the Botox and the ring needs to be at least $5,000 more than what it was? And I mean,
That's why he's a no.
Yeah, I mean, you throw up the beer and I'm gonna match you with your Botox. You throw up tequila, I'm gonna match you with, you don't clean up after yourself. You match me with a pack of beer, I'm gonna match you with, whatever it is, the $10,000 ring that you're talking about.
Because we know the show gives them rings.
Yeah.
And the men are allowed to upgrade them if they would like.
Mm-hmm.
And Anton upgrade by $5,000. I don't know what upgrading a ring by $5,000 is these days. Okay. But at least he put some money in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just saying, okay, he put some money in. I would have given you the show ring and gotten you the larger ring after the fact once we actually married.
Agreed.
Earn it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, she would hate me because you walk in my house, you don't see this nice long cabinet full of wine and liquor. She would have a heart attack just looking at it.
Isn't wine liquor?
No, it's not actually. But they are distinct. I do need to get my rum game back up. I need to get some different type of rums.
Oh, we can talk offline, Trey.
It's just all full of wine, red and white. And
we can get your flavored rum on, because if y'all like, here's another mix that Mr. L said we'll indulge in this. Okay, if you get and this is not any brand endorsement. Okay, what we do is we get like Cruzan pineapple rum. Okay. And we mix that with the what is it? The cranberry mango. If you mix that with a cranberry mango, it's like an adult fruit punch. And you don't feel it till you stand up. Because I'm a heavy pourer. If I'm the bartender, I'm a heavy pourer. Okay? The liquor has no, I don't do that. The liquor has to rise to the ice level, and then we pour the juice. So, I'm just saying, if you do that, I love a pineapple.
That's a lot of rum. That's a lot of rum.
And it's not a lot of ice. We're not putting a lot of ice.
No, it's just 3 cubes max.
Yeah, maybe 4 because I don't like watered down rum. I don't like watered down rum. Yeah, but if you want to, y'all, and you don't want watered down and you want it to stay chilled, freeze your strawberries.
Oh, that sounds good.
Freeze your strawberries and put it in there. It will give you the chill without giving you the watered down effect.
I actually have stone cubes. There's stone cubes that you leave in the freezer. And I take those to use them as ice, so they stay cold or whatever. Keep my drink.
I heard that.
But Trey, if you want to talk about rum, we can get your rum cabinet together. Listen,
I need some good old moonshine as well. I used to be a moonshine connoisseur. I'm from the country.
We can't talk about that. Moonshine is technically illegal.
Technically, yes, but whatever. I'm from the country. We consume it. Okay.
Then you need to find yourself in the mountains of someplace in North Carolina or Tennessee. But I don't know nothing about that.
We can teach you. I'm gonna get you some nice peach. Good peach.
I don't peach is not. Peaches are overly sweet. No,
it won't be sweet. Don't worry about it. This will be smooth. You would love it. I guarantee you.
I need you to tell me how much proof it is. That's the other reason why I don't mess with
First of all, it's moonshine. It's gonna be over 100 proof.
I don't see, that's the thing. I don't need my stomach burning because of how somebody manufactured theirs. Again, I need to know who's making it, okay? But Trey, that is technically illegal. We're not going to talk about that on the channel out loud.
I guarantee you'll love it. Smooth.
Well, we'll if Anton has to cry a river like the one behind him in my thumbnail picture, we could send him a few bottles.
He will love it.
Is there anything else y'all want to say about Anton and Allie?
I wanted to say this earlier. I have some extras. I'm gonna take Sam's spot. To your point earlier, I will say this. I think Anton should say no. It should be a no. But here's the caveat. This is for you. Allie is pretty enough for him to be dumb enough to say yes. So I give you that. And I mean it just like I said it.
Act on it.
She is pretty enough for him to be dumb enough to say yes. Because let's keep it real. Some of the attributes, if that's not what you're looking for, and he done said what he was looking for, and she is not it should be a hard no.
Both of them should be a no. He drinks too much for her, and she counting his beers for him. And he can't even go to the strip club and have some stress relief.
And he won't even fund some of her extracurricular activities she want to do. Botox and all that.
She's too young for Botox. I'm sorry. She's too young.
She's going to mess herself up. That's what it looks like. But, do what you want to do.
I say she's saying yes and he's saying no. That's what I think. You heard it here first.
Okay. Y'all, that has been this week. I want to thank Sam and Trey for being here with me to cover this. Y'all, tomorrow, Married at First Sight UK, there's a bride that lied on her husband. Okay? She's saying she don't like him. She ain't attracted to him. Meanwhile, they slapping skins in the background. Okay? That came out this week. So we are covering that at noon tomorrow. At 5 p.m. EST tomorrow, we are covering unsolicited advice, where somebody said that her boyfriend slapped his ex's booty. And we will cover and give her our advice, okay? Also, this lady's cousin cheated on her with her husband while she was with child. Those are just 2 of the 4 stories we're going to cover. And members, Monday night at 8, we have a wonderful thing coming up because we love to do people at Walmart. Well, this man was arrested in Walmart for stealing the adult toys. And I have the inventory from the police report of all that he was caught stealing. Members, we're going to cover that in our unsolicited advice. And I have some signs for you. And as always, we have Date or Dump, where you see the old dating show videotapes. And you decide with our bachelor and bachelorette who you going to date, who you going to dump. So we have all the stuff. And yes, we will have, they sell adult toys at the Wally World, a plethora. Okay, a plethora.
I'm still flabbergasted.
I'm going to have visual proof. If y'all want to go to y'all Wally World, check it out. Okay, where am I from?
I'm sorry.
My peoples is from Trinidad and Tobago. And Brownsville finished the rest of my raising. Okay, Brownsville, Brooklyn finished the rest of my raising. Okay, so that's why Trey was like Brownsville. So if you know Brownsville, that's where also Mike Tyson is from. Never run, never will. Okay, okay.
She done told y'all a lot right there.
And I do have a necklace that says never. Okay, that's my Brownsville girl days. But like KB said, that's not who I am anymore. We
can believe it with you because you have years of experience that back it up.
I can get there. I can get there real fast.
We know you be holding back. We can tell. Like, you know what? Beyonce has grown into the beautiful and well-mannered woman that she is today. It is an example we should follow. Okay? She will not steer you wrong. Follow this woman. Like, share, subscribe.
Thank you for the hyping me up, Trey. So make sure you do, as Trey said, like, share, and subscribe. Glad to see the new people in the chat. We do a lot of things around here, and we're also covering Mindhunter Season 2 on Tuesday. And I have, slasher films the week of Halloween. We're going to cover that because why? One of our members in here, Cheryl, she loves herself some slasher films, so I might do 2 episodes of Reel It In, REEL, Reel It In, where we cover either a series on Netflix or elsewhere, or we cover a movie or 2. So we're going to cover slasher films, and members, I'll let y'all see what the poster is first so y'all know which slasher films we are going to cover. Hey, Motown Investor. Hey, Just Angela. We are now wrapping up, and I hope you will slide that thing back and watch the show that we had for you tonight. We had great fun with Sam and Trey. Is there anything, Sam or Trey, you want to say to the people before we head on out?
No, just that I had a blast as usual with the chat fam and the panelists, and I just can't wait for, I hope we get to chop it up after the reunion. I'm excited and looking forward to that.
Yeah, we might do a live watch of the reunion if it's on a Sunday. I might do a live watch.
That'll be fun. Count me in.
Yeah, we said Annie was the one with the ankle bracelet, Motown Investor. We did say that. Trey?
I'm good to go. It's beautiful hanging out with y'all ladies today. Can't wait to do it again. Everyone in the chat, have a blessed evening. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. And we'll see you next time.
Oh,
don't have more than 2 beers. Go ahead, Sam.
I'm sorry, I got to sneak in. I see some people giving me love, high vibe, and thank you everybody for the love. I'm sensitive and I appreciate being liked and loved. So I want to recognize people that are showing me some love, and I love you right back. Sorry,
awesome. Thank you all so much for being here. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.